Well, thank you guys so much for joining me. I've joined obviously by Zac. This is ZAC AYNSLEY. We've got the Dutch Andrew Huberman, the supplement expert.
Supplement guru from the Netherlands.
Yeah.
That's true though.
Yeah.
I do know a lot, yeah.
And we've got the next Eddie Hall.
Ball player.
This is my friend Kyle. He's long friend of mine, but I think for what we're doing on this mission and journey of mine at the minute, he's like the perfect guy for what we believe in. You know, he's looking to change his life essentially through lifestyle changes, and of course with lifestyle comes diet and supplementation. But yeah, you got a few little issues and stuff that's going on right now, like sleep apnea, low testosterone, and you know, my mission is to essentially help as many people in the world as I can with, you know, happiness, health, and just living their best life, and essentially just be stronger, happier, and healthier. I think if you've got those three, then you're living a great life. And you know, to see one of my best friends have low testosterone and suffering with sleep apnea, I know we can help him. I know I can help him. So I want to kind of have this as day one, as you see him now, and then in 8 to 12 weeks, see the differences that he's made. You know, with these lifestyle changes and using these products to help raise his testosterone levels back to where they should be. And yeah, same with Nick. Nick's like my best mate from the Netherlands, and he's just a supplement guru. He knows everything, man. It's
I could tell.
It's insane. And then and then there's me. So I want to, you know, really back this brand and push these products because they're natural. They really do help people, and you know, I'm seeing a difference big time with myself too. And you know, if you're a natural athlete, if you're not, at the end of the day, if you're, to be fair, if you're not even an athlete, you know, you're just an everyday person who's health conscious, you need to be using these supplements in your daily routine. You know, I've been talking about this in podcasts before. A lot of stuff that we do now in daily lives is reducing men's testosterone levels. From the foods we eat, the lifestyles we live, the fact that, you know, teenagers now just sit in the house with an iPad glued to their face. We're not like our grandfathers were. And it's kind of sad to see, and I want to help, you know, get men back to where they should be.
Being where they should be.
Being stronger, more fit, health conscious wise, you know. So yeah.
What were some of the things that, you know, you had going on to like want to start this journey?
So I've always been sort of a bigger lad. Always been a bit overweight. Always been sort of conscious about how I looked and how I felt and stuff like that. There was a few things, obviously, getting on. I've just turned 30. I think there was like a switch in my brain, just snap, that was it. Right, I need to do something now. If I let it keep going, I'm going to die young, basically. And yeah, from there, it was sort of like I've been looking around online, and you see so much stuff online now. There's so many products out there, and it was sort of like, what is right for me? What is actually going to help? And obviously, there's wanting to have children and stuff like that as well. It's not something that I thought about now, but in the future it is something that I want. And obviously being diagnosed with the low testosterone through the NHS, being put on TRT and stuff like that, it's too early to start shutting my natural testosterone down. I want to look at alternatives and sort of do it naturally, let my body become what it should be, really.
Because you've been saying like you've seen our ads for like the last year, so you've been thinking about like the sort of natural approach for a year.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not something that's offered on the NHS. They don't have the advice. They don't have the they don't have the know-how. They don't have the knowledge.
Although Tongkat Ali's been around for ages, it's been used in Asia for literally like thousands of years. The Western, it's because it's not, you know, medicine. It's not patentable because it's a plant. Not interested, you know. There's no
money to be made, right?
There's no money to be made.
They summed it up there.
Except for, you know, in terms of like the money to be made for like a prescription drug that you can patent and say
a different story to them.
For them, you know, for us obviously like we see value in doing it, but for like them it's like, you know, if you can't patent it, then
there's no interest in
no
that.
interest.
But I mean, even if like you're on TRT, for example, you know, I've got friends who are on it, even up to people in their 60s, they required it. I don't see any harm in stacking the two. You know, why not have a natural herbal remedy in your daily life. You know, have a little tablet for breakfast and see how it is.
Because Tongkat as well, it might lower SHBG. So
sex hormone binding globulin.
Yeah. So let's say you're on TRT, and so your balls are shut down. You're not producing testosterone, but by taking Tongkat Ali, you might actually free up the amount of testosterone that's bound, and actually be able to use a little bit more of it.
And this is what's usable to the body, right? The free testosterone is what counts.
Yeah.
The interesting part where benefits are being
for sure, and because
seen,
with Tongkat Ali, it's not 100% clear how it raises testosterone. There's 2 or 3 ways. You got one way, which is increasing luteinizing hormone, so
LH.
LH signal for your balls to make testosterone.
Exactly.
There are some studies where it looks like that's what it's doing. There are other studies where it looks like it just lowers SHBG, so it just reduces. It doesn't, necessarily increase testosterone. It just increases the amount of testosterone your body can use. And if it is that second way, then it would definitely be beneficial to take Tongkat whilst on TRT. And then there's also like a third way maybe where it just looks like it massively reduces oxidative stress, and that will increase testosterone, because obviously oxidative stress is really
cortisol. Also, stress lowers testosterone. This is a fact.
Oh, for sure.
Studies have been shown it does, right?
Well, 2 years ago I was going through a bad spell. I went public with this a few times, more or less to kind of just educate people, and I wasn't stressed as much as I was anxious. I mean, I noticed a huge difference. Where as soon as I had pretty crippling anxiety and living with fears, mate, I lost weight. I wasn't eating. Zero sex drive. I just didn't feel like me.
Stress is a hormone too.
Yeah, of course. And then I was pretty much looking for a way out of it, and I didn't even think back then it was anything to do with testosterone levels. I thought it was just all mental. So I was meditating and doing things to try get myself out of this headspace I was in. But then I thought, I'm going to do my blood work, and then I saw my test results. And I was just shocked, man. Very low. Yeah.
And then my dad's going through something like that at the moment. He was a bodybuilder, and he now is struggling with depression, and it's probably just root cause testosterone, low testosterone. And he's just started. I mean, he's been doing the Tongkat Alis and the stuff, but it's at the point now where he's just gone onto the gel.
Because he's already at a certain age too, right?
How old is your dad?
61, so he's turning 61.
Or 50 to 60 range. They say it's getting more difficult, especially as your dad used to be a bodybuilder.
So
always was on hormone replacements for years and years. That will be the difficult part, to get your hormones back after such a time span, so it's
for sure. And if you look at all pro bodybuilders, they're going to be on TRT for life.
Usually after 10 years of steady usage.
Yes.
Yeah, you will have to do it. Probably.
You're not getting your testosterone levels back naturally.
No, not where they were. Actually, not
blasting 500 milligrams of test a week. Definitely not.
No,
that's the normal amount too.
That's the
big boys.
I'm in a Facebook group.
Sweet spot, they say.
I'm in a Facebook group, and it's a steroid Facebook group. So people post their cycles and what they're doing, and ask for advice. And I saw a guy post he's on 500 milligrams of test per week, and he looks like he's never lifted a weight.
Mate, honestly, I hate that, man. The thing is, it's no secret, I'm a professional athlete. I've used my first cycle I was 23. But one thing I will always tell people is, firstly, I've always used the absolute babyest, most minuscule doses ever. I'm scared of it, man. I hate it, to be honest. I only ever did it because I was pressured into doing it in the first place. And then, to be fair, mate, I've only ever been on a cycle for show. So in my off season, I've never on anything.
You never need any high dosages either.
No, never.
Because you respond to it anyway. So why would you use high dosage?
Mate, at the gyms I've been training at, fucking the stuff people are using, it blows my mind.
My gyms too, it's insane.
They look at me, they see the physique and they see the end result, and Zac's on loads, he's on everything. But mate,
there's a common misconception amongst gym goers and gym rats, that if that's the biggest guy, he must be on the highest dosage of gear. But that's not always
it's not true at all.
How it works, not at all actually.
not being big-headed, but I'm without a doubt the best physique in my gym. Without a doubt, there's no one close. But I'm easily taking the least in that whole gym when it comes to gear. When I was using it, for sure. But the thing is, it's one of those things as well. Like the problem I'm having with that is people are going to steroids before anything else, and I hate it. You know, so it's getting to the point now where, you know, you go online, and when I first started in this industry, you know, we talked about protein, we talked about creatine, we talked about amino acids, we talked about diet, we talked about training regimes, and our whole lifestyle, and that's how we built our physique. You know, we talked about every single aspect of what we did daily. Now you go on YouTube, the first thing you talk about is people taking TREN, growth hormone, cycles, and it's 16 years old. Oh, look at this 13-year-old, and it was all this shit, mate. But the problem with that is, and I've seen this myself, at local gyms I've been at, I see 15, 16-year-old guys coming from school, still with their backpacks on and their uniform, coming into the gym and talking about their first cycle.
Yeah.
And mate, it blows my mind, like that they're even considering that. They don't know what they're talking about.
So
they don't know
much
what they're getting themselves into.
On the table that they can like use to their benefit before even thinking about steroids.
Mate, they don't even train hard.
No,
That's
I know.
the thing. They don't lift. Like, I'm not being nasty or targeting anybody, but
it's
the
the truth.
majority of people I see who use a lot of gear don't train.
Exactly.
They don't train hard. They don't train like the one thing they build up.
They're not getting the most out of it.
But the same thing too, I always tell people, don't touch the stuff unless you want to make this your absolute life. Like, if you want to be Mr. Olympia and you wake up every single day of your life, like, you just can't wait to train, and you know your life is to compete on that stage, then fair play. Like, this is what you're living for, right? You've got no choice, really. If you're doing this just to look good in Miami for a week's holiday with the lads, you're an idiot. Sorry,
shouldn't do it.
What?
And this is what we were saying last night. Like, if you're not willing to make your whole life revolve around it, like you're eating every 2-3 hours, you're training like to the absolute limit, like you're not going to be getting the most out of it anyway. So you're ruining your health and potentially even like your ability to have kids, your ability to...
it's the long-term effects that people just don't think about. I mean, it's kind of like that with anything. You know, if you want to be rich, you know fine well you're not going to be a millionaire in a week of working. It takes years and years. It's kind of the same with this. You know, people see the short-term results and think, oh, that's a great idea, I'm going to do this, but then they never think about the long-term. They don't think what's actually involved.
They don't think about, like, you know, when you're like 40 or 50 and now you've got no tests and you're depressed, so you can't get out of bed, you've got no energy because, you know...
They find out later on, and then it's already too late.
Yeah, you can't undo it.
Like I said to you once before, right, that it's... if I would I wouldn't knew then, I would never touched it anyway. I firmly believe I wouldn't have even go that route. Because in the end, is it all worth it, the risks for just looking good and a certain look? But it's a certain look, right? You cannot obtain that naturally. You have to keep in mind, if you see all these bodybuilders, like, you want to look like that's the way to go. But is it worth to you in the end? Do you really want that?
Are you going to make the most out of having that body?
Exactly. Study that all these risks that can be involved are worth it, you know, because I took that route and I don't regret it. But like I said before, I have to keep in mind that you cannot really go back after so many years too. There's no way back. You can go off, but you have to be like on hormone replacement or whatever.
And then you're on it anyway, basically. Just,
it is. But then like that's sort of like a lifestyle for life. It's not a choice that you go like to the club and do little drugs and the day after you're good again. That's not how this works. You have to follow it completely.
Forever. That's what I'm saying. And like, you know, you got the whole testosterone problem, and a lot of people are turning to TRT, and it's like, if you're, you know, below 30 or even really 40, like, you're shutting down your balls already.
I know people who are going abroad for that, you know, trying to get it prescribed here in the UK. They're not. And then they're going abroad to get prescribed TRT. Like, it's nuts, man.
And considering, you know, you don't, to get to TRT, to do TRT, you're only going to get to like, 30 millimoles per litre anyway, which is literally, we've got customer blood work showing you can get that with Tongkat Ali, with fadogia, and obviously, most importantly, the lifestyle and the dietary change. So if, you know, you cut out all the shit from your diet and, like, you know, you do what Eddie says, like, you stop all the processed foods, you exercise properly, you know, train but don't overtrain, and get your sleep and get all your nutrients in, then you know, there's like literally no reason why you can't have like that level of testosterone.
9 out of 10 times it's the lifestyle.
Yeah, I mean, men are weaker than ever, but it's through lifestyle change. I mean, if you talk to your grandparents, the stories they tell you about, you know, the work they used to do and the fact they used to have to like walk 20 miles to work, and sometimes you think, oh, they're bullshit, but really no, like they just had like tougher lives and they built tougher men.
Yeah,
you know,
been very softer too these days, right? Back in the day, for hair stories from my grandfather, if he had a loud mouth or whatever, his dad would like
give
him a smack. He wouldn't talk bad anymore. He would like accept it and say, "Oh, sorry."
Hey, I was like the most respectful little kid. When we were taught very clearly, like you have to be very well mannered and treat elders with respect. That was you heard that everywhere. You got to treat elders with respect. But now little brats running around.
It's so like, I guess it's social
because you get away with it, man. Like
it's social media. If you smack a kid today, the kid filming it, and it's like my fucking whoever's smacking me.
The parent looks bad, but it's the real story behind it, you know.
Yeah, but like my parents
went there, right?
Yeah,
you know that part you don't.
You don't see what they did to the
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, my parents never like smacked me, but my dad would flick my ear. You know. I'd know like it didn't.
No, it's true. Like that shit just don't fly anymore.
But same with just our lifestyles, you know, like everything is so fucking accessible now. I mean, if you want to eat, you click a couple buttons and it comes to your house. You know, cars
you have to kill
faster than ever. Like, mate, we're in such a hurry as humans now. Like, slow down. You know, we don't need to do everything so quick and so efficiently. Like, I'm going to use a RuneScape reference here because I can. When I played RuneScape back in the day, it's like an MMORPG game. It's an online role-playing game. You can do whatever you want. When I used to play as a kid, you logged in and did what you wanted for fun. It was great. But now players, they play to be as efficient as possible in that game.
Sweating it.
Yeah, but it's like that for everything. Like, I feel like it's on COD now. Like, back in the day, you play Call of Duty with your friends. You go on just for fun and play. But now it's like you have to be the best. You have to get the best guns. You have to bet. And I just feel like that's happening with life at the minute. You know, people are trying to do everything as fast as possible. You know, they're eating their meals quicker than ever. They're getting their food delivered to their house. Like I say, cars and transport's quicker and lazier than ever before. And it's having a serious effect on not only our physical bodies, but mental as well, which obviously go hand in hand. But yeah, we're just weaker than ever.
You're bringing up just a small amount of all factors that play a role in this, right? Even more factors too, like that we in general have lower testosterone these days.
Oh, I mean, massively.
Yeah, and it's not a good development in my eyes. So what we're bringing up is this awareness that you can raise your testosterone naturally, but you have to be aware about this. If you're not aware, just continue what you're doing. It doesn't change by itself.
Yeah, it all starts with doing blood work. You know, blood work.
And you know where you are, your baseline.
Yeah,
and from there you can see, I'm down base or below baseline, and where can I bring it up?
Yeah. If you know, like you're below like 10 millimoles per liter, you know there's a problem. Like you know that's the root cause of whatever the problem is. If you know you've got those sort of low T symptoms, and then from there you introduce like some new changes. Like maybe you change your diet, you try exercising.
The biggest thing here is like, I think a lot of guys who are in a position now where they might be watching this and thinking, I've got lowish testosterone. I feel like I have. I'm waking up tired. I've got no energy. I'm coming home from work.
No drive.
Yeah, my sex drive isn't there. I'm not being as, you know, I'm not the guy I used to be. How can I go get my blood work done? I mean, to be honest, it's a small investment. You can go to a private clinic. I think it's like, how much was it?
Medichecks, like
I use Medichecks, full blood work. I paid just over £100.
Right, so
it's getting me sort of so far, rather than trying to go down the NHS route, because it's impossible.
You can't do it.
Yeah, but it's
much quicker.
So they only give you for this money the info, but not the way to do it, right?
Yeah,
but they don't help you that way.
Yeah.
If you said to someone on the street, would you change your whole life, the way you feel, your energy levels, your sleep, everything for £100? If I gave you a tablet, give you £100, I give you a tablet, you take it, your fully life changes, you feel better and everything, they're going to say, yeah, of course. It's the laziness side kicking in too. They don't want to go to the blood work.
They want to put the effort in.
Make the appointment, and then they have to put the effort in to actually go ahead and do the lifestyle changes. But if you can make that little, very simple switch, or as I say, get over that first hurdle, you're plain sailing from there. Everything increases. Everything gets better. Your quality of life, your sleep, your strength, sex drive. I mean, everything that comes
together.
With your hormones and testosterone being where they need to be.
Yeah.
I think
it's simple changes in your life to get it back to those levels.
Yeah,
it's really not a difficult thing to do. You just have to make that first step.
And yeah, that's like whenever somebody buys the testosterone boosters, they get like a sequence of emails being like, hey, so like dietary wise, here's what you want to be eating, here's what you want to be avoiding. Exercise, you know, simple stuff like, you know, train, but like don't overtrain, like marathon training, that type of shit is going to kill your testosterone. And then it's like shit to avoid, like the microplastics and, you know, as much as I mean, a lot of it.
Seed oil.
Yeah.
Shit.
A lot of it in today's day and age is just straight up unavoidable to like some degree. But
yeah, it's tough. I mean, like I saw this video once of an expert dietitian who educates people about what not to eat and what to eat and stuff. He went into a very good steakhouse in America, and he basically went in and said the foods he's quote unquote allergic to, and the steakhouse turned around and said, I'm very sorry, there's nothing you can eat here. Nothing.
Yeah.
You know, you think like you can go and eat a good steak, but even they're using seed oils on the steak instead of like olive oil or real butter and stuff like that. And, it's pretty hard to avoid having a bunch of shit in your food at all times.
Did you say sunflower oil or
just seed oils in general?
Yeah, actually, it can be ran on diesel engines.
See, that's not a good idea.
So comprehend that this goes in your body.
Yeah.
It's not made for it. I saw a documentary once on Discovery.
Yeah.
And it was about how they made, how it's made, it's called.
Yeah.
And how they made sunflower oil. Nah, it's just such a chemical process.
Yeah,
It ain't healthy for you. If you know this, well, they call it sunflower, but there's there's nothing to do with sunflowers anymore. Yeah. So you think being plant-based, that's healthy.
Yeah.
That's a misconception.
Yeah.
It's like
have you ever been in like a kitchen where like the worktops are super sticky, like ridiculously sticky? You can get like a scalpel and run your knife across it and like rolls up and then it's just pure filth. That's the seed oils.
Yeah.
I noticed this because I'm not gonna say who, but somebody I know very well only cooked the fried eggs in seed oils, and it spits a little bit. You know, you get the egg and it spits out. Well, the section of the stove that you used to spit onto, if you didn't clean it immediately and left it just overnight, the next day it would be very, very sticky and thick, dirty,
Smush,
just shit on top of it. So I told him what it was, and he was like, "Oh, no, I use this oil all the time. It's fine." I was like, "Well, try sunflower oil." He did it the next day, and I went back the next day, and it was just still there, little spit marks, but just wiped it off straight away, like it should be. But that's what clogs your arteries, you know. Like if you're consuming olive oil every day, olive oil is one of the best things you could consume. It's fantastic.
It's a great source
but
of that.
the processed oils, the trans fats in
those are what's giving you
clogs
this
your arteries.
calcification process in your arteries.
Yeah, but you can see it for yourself. If you cook with the seed oils and let it spit and leave it for a day, come out the next day, you can see it's hardened, it's thickened up, and it's all sticky and disgusting. If you do the same thing with olive oil, leave it for a day and little, the grease, whatever, on top.
That's why the
oil and wipe straight back up.
K2 supplement comes in play, right? It can be beneficial for like preventing and reversing this calcification process of the arteries. If you take K2 and a proper amount of dose with the D3 together, it really helps on that part.
Yeah, it takes away the calcium from like soft tissue. It's also kidneys, I think.
Yeah.
So like
the filtration process.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to my dad for sure.
D3K2. I mean, I always say like D3K2 is a supplement, especially this time of year. Like no questions, everyone should take.
In the winter, definitely.
Like no questions.
We're all deficient in vitamin D,
especially in the UK.
Especially
it's always grey sky here, right?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Even worse than the Netherlands.
Even especially than like Scandinavia as well. I think they're like bigger on it. But like, you know, you just think like, what if the government like subsidized it to the point where like everyone gets a free, because vitamin D3 is so cheap. So like we sell that for $9.99 for a 4-month supply.
Yeah,
so
it's nothing, right?
The government
value for your money
brought that for everyone in the country. I guarantee you they'd save money on like in the long run from the NHS. Like if they brought sort of like September or October time, like when the weather's turning, everyone gets a free D3K2. Whatever it costs, I guarantee you they save more in the long run from that's just a reduction in like NHS stress for the winter.
But there again, there's no money to be made.
There's no, exactly, it's natural. There's no money to be made for
them.
Well,
but the power of social media and YouTube and Instagram, TikTok and everything now is you do get these podcasts and you do get this information. It's all out there for free.
So like people can just...
The problem is stubborn people really you got to choose who you listen to. And a lot of elderly people, especially, they'll just listen to whatever their doctors tell them.
Yeah.
And anyone else is a conspiracy theorist who's trying to sell them shit, you know. But if you have an open mind and actually do a little bit of genuine research, you'll realize there's a lot you can do out there for your health that will impact your life.
To be honest with you, I recovered my health always better doing my own research than listening to my doctor. Yeah. I got a real good example once. I had a neighbor, and he was being a bit of an alcoholic a lot and using drugs a lot, and he had small kids. So I was like, I'm a little sad for his kids, you know. Yeah. And he asked me for help. So we started training and whatever, but he kept doing drugs and shit and behind my back, you know, because he would smell like beer and stuff. Once he came in my house, he had like a jaundice, you know, this like a liver disease. Yeah. And he was completely yellow. His eyes were yellowish skin. He was in a bad situation. So he got hospitalized, and they could only, he was held there for 2 weeks. They could only give him a form of prednisone, I remember. Why he didn't took it was they wouldn't help him at all. And then they released him from the hospital. And the doctor he needed to go take blood work every 4 days because he really wanted to check him because they were scared he was going to die. Because they say like his liver in points was above 500. Okay. Oh, that's insane. If you, I don't know if the British scales are the same in points, but in Holland it's soft. That's insane. Well, I gave him this supplement that contained all the liver, like a milk thistle, N-acetylcysteines. There were Tutka was in it. And the doctor was saying every 4 days straight, whoa, continue what you're doing because it's really working out. And within like 2 weeks, he went from 500 points to 100. Well, that's what I'm trying to say. The hospital didn't get
They never would do that.
And it helped him the best out of all treatments they tried.
They would never prescribe a supplement.
No, exactly. But in my belief, it worked for the best.
Yeah. It's the same with me. Like I've my entire life had eczema. So like my skin.
And me too. When I was young.
So I had it when I was young, and then I still have it now. Really, like
the autoimmune reaction.
Yeah, that's why I want to try raw milk.
Well, you can do. Maybe sometimes they say it can be. It can clear up.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see Clarkson. But no, like I mean, I know for sure it's like linked to my gut.
It all starts in the gut, they say.
It all starts in the gut, and but you know, for years, every time I go to the hospital as a child, it was steroid cream. You put steroids.
I had the worst acne when I was a teenager, and I can't remember what these tablets were called. Little yellow things, mate.
Accutane, Roaccutane.
I'm not too sure, mate. They had a big fancy word. I don't think it was that.
It's dangerous too,
mate. This shit made me want to jump off a bridge. I'm not even joking.
And like, I can get depressed out of it. Yeah,
it sucked my personality out of me completely, and I didn't even link it to the tablets because you know, at that age especially, I was like 15, 16. You know, if the doctor gave me something, like it was a doctor. Yeah. I trust this guy with my name. Mate, I would never go to a doctor for general health advice. No. Never. No, me if I broke my hand or like, you know, if I had like an infection in my cut or something, I needed like antibiotics or things like that. Yeah, great. They're fantastic.
You know? Like health-wise?
But general health
don't know shit.
Diet, mate. My dad, bless him, he's had a bit of a rough year or two. He's got kidney damage and, mate, he's on a renal diet plan, which is essentially foods to avoid if you got kidney issues. Mate, I nearly exploded with the dietitian in the hospital when I saw the menu they gave him. Mate, they were letting him drink full fat Coke in the hospital and fucking bread and milk and seed oils and fucking all sorts of shit. Mate, I'm good.
Who made this sheets?
So they said,
who's decided
who did this?
He wasn't allowed an orange, like a fresh orange, because of the phosphates in it. But he was allowed to have everything else, so it was toxic for you.
It's terrible.
I didn't flip, but I really wanted to.
Yeah, but you get angry, right?
The professional in here, like the professional dietitians that are hired to help treat people, giving them this chemically enhanced. Oh my God, blew me. Just made me go.
Then again, they learn from that sheet.
Yeah, it's a
that sheet. Then
they don't. Yeah, they don't. So that's the problem, that they don't actually think for themselves. They're following like a set procedure.
I can't blame them though. It's like they're not doing it on purpose. Yeah, they're just not educated.
I think I think with GPs and stuff, it's the case that, you know, it's not their fault. They're just spread incredibly thin. Like a patient comes in, they actually probably don't have to. I mean, they're seeing like a patient every fucking 10, 15 minutes.
15, 20 minutes.
So like they can't take a step back and think, hold on.
Well, at the end of the day, we are just numbers to them, aren't we? You know, they're pay at the end of the day.
They've got to get through as many people as a day as they can. But so instead of like seeing someone come in, like for example me with my eczema, and being like, okay, like what could be causing it? Like, how do we actually fucking like solve this?
What do we have on the shelf for that?
Yeah, just fucking have the steroid cream and fuck off. And if it doesn't get if it doesn't get better in 3 weeks, then maybe get back into like that was the only ever shit I got. But then when I actually started looking into stuff myself, and I started like realizing about how important the gut stuff was, and I like then changed my diet, then it became manageable. And I wasn't like so reliant on steroid cream.
But you took it from the root cause.
Yeah, I looked for that's the thing, like they're not trying to find the root cause. They're just like bandage
like a bandage over the wound.
Yeah.
So it doesn't resolve the problem, right?
I heard a great one. It was like this guy said, if your engine one lights on a car, you get a brand new car, let's say a Lamborghini, you want to look after this Lamborghini.
Yeah.
It's an amazing car. You want to make sure it's running perfectly, right? All of a sudden the engine warning light comes on. You've got the money to go fix it. What do? You go and take it to the mechanic, fix the root problem, right? You don't just take the bulb out that says your engine warning light's on.
Yeah.
That's essentially what these paracetamol and tablets are doing. If you've got an injury or a pain or some sort of root problem, they're just masking that pain and delaying it, and it's not actually fixing it.
But I guess that's what it all comes down to. There's a lot more profit to be made in selling people consistent medications, but rather than like, hold on, what's the actual problem? Because I mean, changing your diet makes money for no one.
The thing is as well, the people who will be watching this are going to be like-minded to us.
Yeah.
So they'll probably already be on board with this. Yeah. Which, I love. But if we can, I really want to help just change the world in that sense. Like just use your brain a little bit, like if something's up,
think for yourself.
There's a reason why. Yeah. And what is that reason? How can I address that reason? How can I attack that reason and beat it,
Do your own research.
Do your research. Think
and listening to your body is a big deal too. I feel like a lot of people, everyone's different, of course. Foods that I eat, I'll respond to differently than foods Kyle will eat, for example.
Oh, that's everyone's different in that part, yeah.
At the end of the day, if you just put a little bit of effort into yourself and invest in your body and by, everything that goes into it and everything that you put out, the changes you can make physically are unbelievable. So one example is my mum, bless her, she had a Raynaud's. Raynaud's is a disease, a circulation disease, where essentially blood flow is reduced dramatically from your extremities. Well, in her case it was anyway. So she used to get really, really white fingers and toes when she was cold. And even, I'm talking like 10 degrees, this would happen, and it's very painful. Yeah. So I looked at it, because I was living in the Netherlands. I came home, I said, Mum, is there nothing you can do for this? And she went, I'm on tablets. I said, well, they're clearly not working, are they? Like joking, it's my mum. I always wind her up and stuff. I was like, well, they're fucking shit. They're not working, are they? And she said, well, I've been on them for 20 years. I'm like, what? I said, why are you taking tablets that are going to damage your kidney and whatever if they're not even doing anything? But she was just taking these tablets because the doctor told her to, but they weren't doing a thing. So I was really frustrated by this, and knowing that she was even sitting in the house sometimes before the heating kicked in agony with her fingers. I'd done some research. There wasn't any like solid answers, but I started fitting pieces of puzzles together, and I experimented with it. And I said, look, I'm truly confident if we expose your body to cold temperatures, like really cold, get her in the ice bath on 1 degree water, and climatize to the water, then the blood flow should, your capillary should open, surely. Because, I was doing the Wim Hof method for a while, and I noticed the first time I went in, the pain in my feet was unbearable. But the fifth time I went in, it was easy. So my body had adapted very quickly. So at the time, it was just an idea. I thought, okay, let's get her in the ice baths. She'll hate it at first. It's going to really flare this up. But surely if you persist and just push through a little bit, it will strengthen it. Mate, 2 days later, it went away. She went in the ice bath for 5 minutes after her second day. The first time she did it was like 5 seconds. I mean, she was like dipping her finger in.
Yes.
But the second day she did 5 minutes. She's in there listening to like AC/DC and stuff, having a good time. She gets out and her fingers were pink, but not just pink, like red hot. And that was about 4 years ago now. And since then, she's never had Raynaud's since. She's never took a single tablet since. And it's cured,
That's like mental.
But the point of that story is, you can self-heal in a lot of cases. Obviously, there's a lot of things out there.
The body's capable to self-heal.
But there's a lot of stuff out there you can do yourself through a bit of research, through a bit of time, through a bit of effort that make a huge difference. And same thing, I mean, that was an experiment. We just trial and error, but we're not experimenting with like meth. You know, just saying, oh, let's have a cold bath and see if it works.
That's the thing as well. Like, you know, there's no harm to trying stuff.
Yeah,
like
man.
There's not going to be a side effect to a bath. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's just a
side
cold
of
bath.
feeling cold for a while.
Yeah.
It hurts a little, and that's it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it worked. It worked wonders. And you know, I feel especially now, like in 2024, everything's too soft. You know, like if you don't do something right, you're gonna get scalded for it, man.
Yeah.
You got to trial and error in a lot of things in life. You have to.
That's life.
That's
Like,
the
mate,
whole thing.
I've experimented with food and training my whole career. You know, like the way I used to train 10 years ago versus now is dramatically different. But, you know, through trial and error, I found out what works for me. You know, anyone can go and buy a book on how to lift, how to train, and watch every YouTube video under the sun. It's going to be different for everybody. You know, the way I train versus how Kyle trains is ridiculously different. But it works for him, and what works for me, you know, it's like that for anything, you know, like any sport or driving or learning at school. Every single kid at school is taught differently and learns differently. So I feel like trial and error is a big part of it too. Like, don't be afraid to make mistakes. You know, failure is a huge part of success.
You learn from
if you can learn from it. That's the biggest thing, you know. And same with this, you know, just experiment with new foods. Don't be afraid to like try new ways of living and being healthier, and you know, just don't be afraid. I think a lot of people are ashamed of doing something wrong. Don't be like, if something doesn't go quite right, learn from it and keep moving forward. That's
that then.
It's like a social media thing, I think, as well. Everything's so black and white, you know. It's always like, this exercise is the best, or this diet is the best, you know, or, you know, train this way for the best, or this steroid or this supplement, when actually it's like, this thing is the best in this situation. You know, there's no context to the statement. But I feel like that's a social media thing, because, you know, if you aren't, let's say, a little bit controversial or like, you know, a little bit polarizing, it's not so much of a fun message. It doesn't get the same engagement.
Oh, mate, for sure.
So the algorithm doesn't push it. So then you get no views. So
if you don't have the shock factor,
you got to, that's the outrage thing. It's like, you know, like the Trump stuff. Like Trump, what he kind of got away with was when he was doing the 2016 election, he would say something and the left would be like, oh my God, this guy just said this. Can you fucking believe it? And then the right would be like, finally, someone's saying it, you know? So he got free coverage from both sides of the media. Whereas if you, like, Hillary was to do let's say like a news conference, everyone's just falling asleep.
You see, I couldn't recite one thing she ever said. For that reason, but I could with him.
Yeah. Because he's not, you know, she's just reading like from a script, like a boring fucking standard political shit. Whereas like, and that was where Trump won on social media, right? Like he just got so much like engagement from both sides because they're both
worked in his favor.
Oh yeah.
But like, do you know what's really fucking cool? I've been on the ZAC stack now for like a week, and obviously with Tongkat Ali, Turkesterone, and
fadogia, agrestis, Cistanche is in the stack, right?
Everything. And mate, I know it's not placebo. Like, I do feel a difference.
Nice.
Within a week, I told you, I said I'm going to do a little experiment. I'm going to film myself doing an incline bench, my heaviest weight. So I got on incline free weight, I got 140 for 2 reps, which is okay. But my best ever was 10 or 11 at my absolute peak. But I've had a bit of time off recently, and I haven't been doing like strength training at all. Mate, within 5 days, I got 6 reps. Like, that's a big increase. You know, 140 kilos is
quick though,
heavy.
Yeah.
And I was with Amy both times, and you know, like I wasn't putting the first one on. Like I was pretending to do 2 for the video. I really tried. I'm not fake like that. And mate, the second time I put a story on my Instagram. I said, "Oh, how many reps do you think I'll get?" And I put 0 to 2, 2 to 4, and then 4 to 6. Mate, when I got, I think it was 6 dead on the 140 incline. I was shocked. But the story was not for that. It was for dumbbells. So I did the 60 kilo dumbbells on an incline. And I said, oh, how many reps? Once again, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, or 8 plus. Mate, I kind of thought myself, I'll be happy with 6 to 8. I got like 18 reps flying. And I just thought, like the week before, I think I got 4. It was fucking epic, mate.
Right. How much do you weigh at the moment?
Ooh, 87. Maybe
87, nice.
Ish. I haven't weighed myself for a while, but I'm going to guess 87, 88. Could be more. Actually, I don't know. But the difference is, once I started using these products, I instantly changed my diet. I know Kyle's the same. It's, you know, when you start using something, you want to have the best out of it. So if I'm going to be taking these fucking amazing supplements that are going to do these amazing changes, but I'm eating shit on top of it, that's going to have an adverse effect.
Yeah.
You got to have the full package.
So it works in conjunction with each other, right? So diet and those
I truly
supplements.
feel like if you just invest in, even if it's just one product, but you believe in it and you really want this product to do wonders, subconsciously you're going to make changes in your life because you want the best and want to be the best, strongest, and your whole lifestyle changes because of one little, you know, starting point.
For sure.
It's amazing.
And that's the thing, you know, there's supplements. They're supposed to be supplemented with, you know, the proper training, the proper diet, the proper rest. Whereas, you know, and some people kind of see it as like the magic pill. Like, I'm just going to take one pill of Tongkat Ali and instantly, like, I'll have an extra 5
That's how it works.
It's like, you know,
It's a reality.
yeah, that's not what we're trying to sell here. We're trying to say that this is one piece of the puzzle. If you were to, let's say, be at a crossroads where it's like, do I do a load of steroids or do I stay natural and try and supplement? It's like, you can get the result, whatever results you are willing to put in for you.
You have to put the work in. People don't realize that. And like I said, I've traveled the world for years and I see it way more in the UK. I don't know what it is, but it's like a hype thing, I think. I think people just think they're cool if they take steroids.
Yeah.
But mate, I'm not being a dick. I'm genuinely shocked about how many people tell me they're on gear and I'm like, what? Like, I can't tell at all.
It's a big
They just look like a normal guy and they're on like 5 times more than I've ever done.
I genuinely think it's a social media thing. Like, obviously, we were talking about this TikTok trend challenge, and it's like, essentially,
Wait, how the fuck is that even allowed? No, it's like, seriously, mate.
How did this
remember
came
this
about?
guy,
I
I
don't
can't
know.
remember his name, in the fucking America, on Instagram, like lives and Instagram stories, Instagram reels, pictures and shit, he would inject himself in public. Like, he would be at a restaurant, he would just stab himself with some growth so he could eat more. And mate, what the fuck? Like, it's a platform where anyone can access to. Like, you don't see porn on Instagram, you don't see like fucking murders on Instagram, shit you'll see on the dark web or whatever, but Instagram's letting people inject themselves for everybody to see without any consequences. Like,
and that's
what? You know what I mean?
like the TikTok trend one is like, you know, a scrawny 60-kilo guy, and he documents the whole 30 days, and obviously his transformation is like insane. Like, it's essentially an advertisement for TREN at that point. Like, a child,
Like a commercial for Trump.
and they're allowing it, but that's the thing. But we can't advertise on TikTok. Like, TikTok bans us from advertising supplements.
What?
And then I see that, and I'm like, hold on. It's not only test, it's TREN. It's the absolute fucking worst one. Like,
That's the crack of the steroids.
it's
actually.
fucking crack cocaine and steroids, and it's like,
Do you know what it is,
cool.
right? Do you know in high school, like, you had the kids that would like smoke behind the fucking
That's the
or whatever,
one.
right? And they're like the cool kids and stuff. And if you don't smoke, you're a fucking loser. And then you get the hardcore kids who like might go and smoke weed or something at like 14, and they're like the coolest kids. And then later, like at 18 years old, they're the ones doing fucking heroin and shit, and like living in a fucking hostel and living the worst life imaginable. Mate, that's the path you're gonna go down with TREN. If you're a like teenager taking TREN, you're gonna be that loser in a few years. I'm telling you.
And nowadays they think you're not cool if you don't do TREN.
Yeah.
Well, I wish I never touched it anyway. Because the risk to reward ratio
It's not that.
is off.
Well,
It's not worth the risks at all.
No,
Not
but
at all.
I hate how it's got. Like, I got into bodybuilding for various reasons, but when I watched it as a teenager, and I used to watch like Arnold and Franco Columbo and Barry DeMay and these guys, like, I loved their physiques, and if they ever mentioned taking gear, it was just like testing Decker and Diana, like the absolute basic stuff. Mate, like, and the physiques were 10 times nicer.
Yeah.
Like, they look nicer. They don't have this like dry granite looking skin, veins popping out of the eyes and stuff. And
A more natural look.
yeah, but they were still health conscious about it too. They went and did physiotherapy, yoga. They had a very good diet and lifestyle. They were in the sun all the time. And now I feel like bodybuilders that not all of them, but a lot of them around the UK. You go in to a gym, they got their hoods up, their headphones on. You look at them, they're like, they want to kill you.
Yeah.
And they're fucking sweating constantly, and it's just not the bodybuilding that attracted me to the sport.
No.
It's like they want to be these basement demons who have no friends, and like, mate, I used to get scolded online all the time from the bodybuilding community, because obviously I compete and I try to create the best physique I can and inspire people to train and stuff. But then I'll go to a festival. I go like DEFCON 1 and Tomorrowland and Intense, all these hardcore festivals in the Netherlands, get all this hate, like, how the fuck can you be a bodybuilder and go and have fun? How the fuck can you go and have fun and be a bodybuilder? Mate, it's like, if I'm not fucking talking about injecting TREN and eating chicken and rice all day and being a miserable fuck, and I'm not a good.
But there's more to life, right?
That's the thing.
You can have fun.
Like,
you can have fun and do this
to
together.
festivals and literally bring fucking steaks with us and chicken and rice.
Yeah, we try to do our best at 4 days DEFCON, for example.
Yeah, remember when we were intense? I was in the crowd having a good time. Mate, let's go get a fucking physio session, because it was a massage table.
You can do that during the festival.
We went to this
Nowadays they got all options, right?
It's epic.
You can even train on the camping site.
they have gyms.
A full gym, outside gym, like with a bench press, squat rack, dumbbell rack, whatever. You can do whatever you like.
That's fucking
That's epic.
They ain't got that at the festivals I've been going to.
They sell protein shakes now, protein bars, so they're more health conscious. Became more health conscious now.
Like DEFCON, like I would say a good 5% of the whole population are like jacked, like in good shape. Yeah, but they are very health conscious, people. Like,
and not all, but like in
a lot of them.
Common, most of them are.
Compared to like places like here, for example, it's nuts. But same thing, the options are there. Like when we would go to DEFCON, we're training every single day in the morning before we go and like rave and shit and have a good time. Mate, raving's cardio. Like just dancing and having a good time. Like I'm not going around sniffing fucking shit. And
sometimes you could do a little. It's not that it hurts you that bad, but you have to be conscious about the rest. If your lifestyle is like 90% okay, you can enjoy yourself a little, like going out and drinking, for example. As long as you don't hammer yourself every weekend to the max,
my last
you can still make gains.
Festivals, and I won the fucking British. I won my show.
Yeah, but it depends on what you do there. If you just don't go all in and don't drink yourself until you cannot stand anymore, of course, there's a limit to everything, right?
Of course. But that's what I'm referring to when you look at like Arnold stage, man. They would go and train hardcore, 3-4 hours, whatever they did in the gym. They go out and have the best meals and steaks, and then they go and chill on the beach and they play with girls and they go swimming and whatever.
They enjoy life. They enjoy it. Not like they enjoy it.
Drive around in cold winter.
Arnold's mostly joined on the pumping iron.
Yeah, pumping iron. That's
epic. But like I say, if you look at it now, people are like the dungeon demons, man. Like they just sit there all depressed and talking about macros.
So you can enjoy life. Just
fuck, man. You can do both. You can't.
That Pumping Iron was the film that kind of got me into training. Like my dad.
I loved it. I watched it.
It's a great film.
20 times or so.
It's a great film.
It's fun.
And there's so much better like physiques as well. Like they're like big, but they're not fucking mass monsters.
Oh, they're around 100 kilograms.
Ronnie Coleman was a mass monster, but mate, there's something about the skin, like this. It's just the gear that they're using now, man. It's just changing the texture of the skin. It's grainy.
The gear, and it's half the foods that we're eating now they weren't eating back then. That's going to come into it as well. Like all the micro
less processed.
That we're heating food up in. It's all processed now.
The water was from
more
glass.
natural. Yeah,
like all that fruit and veg here is sprayed. It's like tastes like cannibal, mate. I came back from Morocco. I was in Marrakesh, and you pick the oranges and tangerines off the trees. Mate, I was addicted to those fucking things. Like I was eating 30 a day. I was so good.
They're way
Came
different.
back to the UK, and I was like, I've been missing out my whole life. I can't believe I never had these. When the Morrisons bought a packet, and I was like, what?
It's not the same.
Actually tasted the chemicals, man.
You can. I think that you can like wash it off with like baking soda and shit, right?
Yeah, but what an effort! It's much aside every day.
Apple cider vinegar too.
Yeah, but
we shouldn't have to do that.
No.
Exactly, mate.
It's just.
Plus, it's washing off the surface. Surely it's went into the actual cell of the fruit as well.
Who knows how effective it must be.
So even nowadays, going out just getting some fruits, there's even additives to it, pesticides, not so good for your body, risks involved.
And then it's like, is the benefit of the fruit outweighing the shit that I'm putting into my body by eating it? So fuck.
Exactly.
Oh mate, yeah, it's nuts. It is. It really is nuts. But welcome to 2024.
It's literally, it's close to impossible to beat.
Hey, have you seen that Putin put in a law? I don't know if this is true, or I might be talking shit, but I'm pretty sure I saw somewhere he put in a law that you are legally not allowed to add any GMOs to food.
Russia,
it was
Putin banned GMOs.
That's right. Yeah,
he did.
Why the fuck are we not doing that?
Yeah, the Western.
Someone's making money.
Yeah.
Exactly. Must be some profit scene here going on.
Yeah, mate. I'm excited to train. I can't stop thinking about lifting.
What is your favorite thing to train?
My favorite thing to train?
Favorite body part, right?
Mate, it's weird. Like I go through changes all the time. Like at the minute, I'm in a chest phase.
Nah, I'm always in the chest phase.
But
I like back the most, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, but like when I was with Nick, it was back. I love training back when I was with Nick, and then when I was training with Kyle, it was legs. I love training legs with Kyle.
That's mental to me.
I love it though. Like I love the intensity.
I love
like,
legs now. I didn't love it before,
challenge.
but I fell in love with it. Took me a while though, but
yeah, like I used to love arms more than anything when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like I got the name Mr. Biceps from it because like you could tell that's all I trained, you know.
Yeah.
But now I'm like it's like at the bottom of the list, you know. It's
I love training legs when I was on tests and I was strong.
yeah.
But as soon as because then I stopped and I took a while off training, like when the business was growing.
Yeah.
And then never since, never like quite fell in love with it.
it's heavy.
It's
fucking
environment
hard.
too.
It's hard. It's
environment
very
too, you know. Like I said, I used to hate training back. I couldn't really quite get the mind muscle connection as I could with everything else, and I tried, and you know, I just didn't enjoy it really as much. But then, you know, it's with the right people, then they
And uplift each other, yeah, always.
fucking epic. It
We went both.
quickly became my favorite thing because I was seeing the
We
real
both looking both ways with us, right? Like your weaknesses and my weaknesses, we bought together and we helped each other in it, and yeah, it worked.
I used to fucking kill him. Remember those lower back
Back extension, we did 100 reps. You know, like on how's it called? And it's just a small bench you can lean over. You can train your glutes, hams, and
like a
lower back with it.
hyperextension.
Hyperextension.
Yeah,
That's called. Anyway, it's you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
It's freestanding. I don't know if the actual machine is
We
called.
did like 100 reps, but made your back so
Mate,
pumped.
unbearable.
And at
But for
50,
three
at 60,
sets.
that becomes like mental.
It's like a
And we did 100. I
used to scream at him.
I did
like 30 and he would stop and
I did fuck off. I'm not gonna give in. You bastard. You know, I'll keep going.
Hey, people in the gym would walk past us and be like, what the fuck are these guys doing? Because he'd be there going,
Fucking hell. Yes. Just put a big of a sweat, you know.
just a big pool of sweat. I'm going, you fucking Dutch pussy. You can't even fucking do it.
Go on, man.
That's brilliant, man. Yeah, I
But
loved
it worked because my lower back was big, you know, it grew. So, you know, the more stuff is a challenge. It
couldn't bend forward or anything.
Oh, so pumped, like, you didn't know where to stand, like, fuck, where to go now? And you too, you had the same. You did it too, you know. It worked.
That was fucking brutal. Like, it is, at that point, like, purely mental.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
But the big thing is...
push past through this, you learn. It works mentally too.
What people don't train is their mind. Seriously.
You
Like,
got to train your mind too.
whatever your mind
does,
says, your body will follow. So, like, if you get me and clone myself, right? But I have the mind of myself here right now, and then you put in the mind of just an average Joe, same physical body, same strength and everything. I would, with this mindset, do 155 reps, whatever, until absolute failure. The other guy would stop at 20, because that's where the pain limit starts sitting in, and then you stop naturally.
That's why.
That's what we used to do. We used to train each other's minds, you know, like I would make him do more than he wanted to.
And by yourself, you would have given in.
Yeah, for sure. And
So that's why I like training with a partner.
Me too.
That's the one thing I miss, I think. Is
Like, he would slap me if I was
Training
stopped.
partners can make or break you too, because if you're with someone that's not on the same page as you are, it can drag you down. But with us two, you know, we always train so
push
good
each
together. Yeah,
I lifted each other up
Yeah.
all the time.
because
Like,
you can always do more than you think.
yeah, we wouldn't just
Oh, yeah.
spot each other, man. Like, you know, we make each other do more. We get the most out of it. Same with
Yeah.
Kyle, like,
we didn't want to do it, but we did it anyway, and that was even more rewarding. Satisfying is the word.
when you leave the gym, you're like, fuck.
Yeah, you were satisfied. Like, oh yeah,
You never left the gym thinking,
well,
I could have done
yeah.
more. And you go home with that.
Was
sour
happy I
taste
did
in
it.
your mouth. Yeah, it was fucking epic.
even though we're tired or whatever, we would go anyway.
I know, man. We'd do like 4 days of festivals and come, you know, have 3 hours sleep and go straight to the gym and smash it. You know, no excuses.
And we would sleep afterwards.
Yeah, fuck it. We'll rest
We
after
did the training anyway.
Yeah, that's mental.
Yeah, man, it's good. But yeah, I like it, man. It's a training partner is essential. That you know, that really lifts someone up. And
It is.
it's yeah. I mean, having a good training partner is a big part of it. You know, not to stand there waiting for them to fail. Like, fucking get them encouraged. Like, get them through this shit.
You have to
Make them
dig
do
in
more. Support
mentally.
them. Like, make them do those negatives. Like, tell them that they've got more in the bag and you want them to succeed. And then if they do that with you, you both grow like crazy, man.
That's why I see so many people that come up to me, Nick, can you help me with my training? Whatever. So of course, usually with their diet and their training, there's always some fixable points. So, for example, raising your testosterone, training more efficiently, eating better, you can already raise it. Then implement this testosterone supplement, raising stack, and all together they do something in conjunction, right? So you can usually improve on a lot of markers when I see people and they ask me like, okay, what can I do better?
100%.
So don't always grab to steroids, whatever stuff for PEDs or whatever hormones. you know, as maybe as a final option if you really want to look like a bodybuilder that's enhanced, because that look isn't naturally obtainable. Being 100 plus kilograms on a certain height, no one is
fat.
No one is 6% fat, 110 kilograms on 1 meters 0.75. It's impossible, right? So
just rude.
Oh, Jim over there used to be like, but he was so short back in the day.
But even for people that are on cycle too, arm enhanced, this will support the cycle. You're going to get the most out of your body, out of whatever you're taking, using this. You said it before, right?
Sorry.
I say that's what you were saying as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you can't go wrong. Like I said, it's a small investment, and at the end of the day, everyone eats breakfast, even if you fast whatever, everyone has the first meal of the day. All you're adding to that meal is a couple of tablets. That's it. It's not hard. But people are that fucking lazy these days. They make excuses for everything. They don't even want to take a tablet.
I think this is the most easy part, you know.
It just don't say having a mint. You know?
And you don't have to inject it.
Even better.
Don't have to bin it.
Fuck that shit. I hate that. I was the worst, man. Like, I was the worst with injections. Like,
I
done
hate
it myself once in 6-7 years of my first ever cycle. Only did it once. I rang an ambulance, never did it again.
Really?
Yeah. Wait, it was I'll never forget it. It was 5 o'clock in the morning, and my coaches, I was like 24 or something, 25 maybe, and my coaches were like, even if you're 1 day late, you fucked it up, like, so you have to do it at this day, at this time, and all this. And I can't remember where I'd been. I think I was traveling back from like LA or something, and I got home and it was 5 in the morning, and I was like, shit, today's the day I need to like inject myself. I've missed it. I can't wait till tomorrow for someone else to do it. I trust. I have to do it now myself. And I did it. And after I actually put it in, I like remembered, oh shit, I like didn't draw back to check. But like, you know, that was just me really overthinking everything. Then I had a severe panic attack. Rang an ambulance. I was like, I'm fucking dying. Yeah, I thought I was dying. I was on the bathroom floor, like in a cold sweat, just like shaking. And then they came over, like, oh, what's wrong? And I was like, I just held this like bottle of test. I was like, I've injected this wrong. And they're like, have you? I don't think you have. I was like, yeah,
look okay.
Still good.
But no, mate, I'm a pussy.
You would have turned blue in a few seconds otherwise.
No, but I'm a pussy with it. Like, I'm not even ashamed to say that. Like, everybody who knows me that's like ever helped me with it, they know how scared I am with it. And it's just, it's a fear, man. Like, it's a phobia I have, and fuck it. Like, I'm not ashamed to say it. Like, I don't care. But
a lot of people,
if you can avoid doing it, then yeah, then
there's always the better option, then, huh?
Straight up, man. But we're talking 100%. Like, seriously, I can't exaggerate enough. Like, if you're under 25 and you don't want to do this for like a job, I was doing because I was getting paid. I wanted to compete. I was trying to get to the highest level. I wanted to become a pro. All of these things, like, I had a lot of pressure from companies and coaches and, you know, competitors and things like that. You know, I was like, right, I kind of have to do this. I don't regret it at all. You know, I've made my career from competing and everything, and it's a part of it. But, mate, if you want to just get in good shape and be a bit leaner, a bit stronger, and you want to look good with your friends and stuff, and your first thing you're thinking about is taking gear, you're an idiot. I'm sorry, but you are. Like, that's just...
If you really put effort in, you're surprised to see how far you can go, just naturally.
Mate, look at gymnasts.
Diet,
like,
training hard. This is not
fucking unbelievable shape.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, Usain Bolt, like, he's fucking shredded.
Sprinters as well.
They have like a bodybuilder type of physique, but just more lean. It's not so bulgy, but they look like a proper athlete. Yeah.
I mean, look at Ronaldo, like, fucking beast.
They're muscular too.
Yeah, he's absolutely
and not everyone wants to look like an old jacked up big boy.
Yeah, but mate, what I tell people is, like, you look at Ronaldo, if you get a picture of Ronaldo up on this screen now, he's shredded. Look at his abs, look at his chest, his delts, fucking, this guy's in mint shape. Mate, this is a guy that's doing cardio for a sport. Imagine if he did that much effort in the gym.
Naturally. Fucking,
He'd be fucking...
See where he got then.
So if
that was his goal.
Yeah.
It's obtainable. It's possible.
Exactly.
The footballer Fernando Torres, he got fucking ripped.
Yeah, he's huge.
Because, you know, he's obviously like a great athlete, but he just stopped running around for like, what, 6 hours or whatever, and actually just put on, like, in a surplus.
Yeah,
made on football. Like,
and then he built up, right? Yeah. But he still had all the muscle quality.
Yeah.
First built quality muscle too.
And then added to it.
Yeah. This is the most important. People think there's magically abs underneath that layer of fat. But that's not also how it completely works.
So everyone has abs, muscle. But, you know, they always say, like,
you really want to define...
Abs are made in the kitchen.
Yeah.
It's true.
To a degree.
To a degree. I used to religiously train abs when I was a teenager because that's how I used to think I would get them. And I'm not gonna lie, I've basically stopped training them now compared to when I used to. Mate, I used to have much thicker, like they used to pop out way more. Now I get the body fat so low, they look fucking shredded, and you can see my serratus and everything. But the thickness, like the bulge of them, like the roundness of my abs,
less now.
way less. So
that was doing the exercise.
My last show, and I was speaking to the judges for feedback, and just look at the pictures afterwards. I had probably the best conditioning up there, but a little flat in the midsection. I thought, okay, I'm going to fix that immediately. And like, yeah, you do need to obviously train them as well, but you know, I was going off the whole abs made in the kitchen thing, and I was trying to be as lean as possible to make them as, you know, as good as possible. But you do need to train 100%. And yeah.
But then again, muscle quality is also built in the gym.
100%.
So they work hand in hand, right? Diet, like they are made in the kitchen to a degree, but you gotta put effort in too. Train it properly.
Have you noticed this? Like now, like when we train when we're young, you see all the other people. Like when we were clueless, we didn't know what we were doing.
Exactly.
All the big bodybuilding guys in the gym, and all the guys look good, mate. They just used to lift. They just used to lift heavy and hard. But now,
all the fancy bullshit exercises.
But now you go into a gym and you see people bicep curling with 6 kilo dumbbells. Like,
and you can do this when you have built muscle.
No, but mate,
there's a big gun already. Then you can define them with this type of stuff.
Like, if I'm seeing like they 25 years and under, like they're not even training hard, not even bringing the sweat. They're following the form by the book.
Yeah,
someone online's told them not to.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's also on social media. What you were saying before. I think there's also a social media thing. Got all these videos. Of all these influencers, whatever, they do all this stuff.
Yeah, squat with a band around the knees.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
You don't have to proper do a normal baseline bench, deadlift, and squat anymore, or like a barbell, dumbbell, T-bar row, whatever.
Yeah,
those build muscle.
Yeah, that shit doesn't happen in rugby.
And then you have proper form, but it's not that you emphasize so much on the squeeze and stretch or whatever.
Just get the
you
fucking
move
reps
the weight
done.
properly, but
exactly.
That build for me, that worked always way better than all that bullshit.
Avoiding injury is a big thing. So like, don't deadlift with your back like this and stuff like that. Of course, there's common sense, but there's a limit to how much perfection your form is. Like, I'm with Jay Cutler on this. When he performs bicep curls, he's got a bit of a swing with his body. He's not swinging the weight up,
but
and relaxing his
acceptable.
Arm. But he's just a bit of momentum to get those extra reps.
Of course.
And those extra reps are the ones that really count.
Particularly at the end of your set. Like,
yeah, mate.
Yeah, we already fatigued.
Throw the form out the window if you're going to get
mate, if you can get 5 more reps with a little bit worse form, fucking do it. There are 5 more reps no one else is going to do.
For sure.
Mate, it's like, seriously, think about it. You don't play a rugby game and you're going to tackle somebody and you don't go, stop for a second, let me just make sure I'm perfectly safe. And then, you just fucking hit them, you know what I mean? Get them down.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
I have a question about Wim Hof. Do you have 3 things you would say you learned from him?
I've got 300 things I've learned from him.
Go on.
Yeah, man. Wim Hof is a legend. I love him. I do. He's like a second dad to me. Taught me so much. I think the first thing that comes to mind is really power of the mind. We overthink everything now. And I did. You know, when I met him, I was riddled with anxiety and like fear, and I was walking on eggshells in my life at the time. And he taught me that it's as simple as letting it go. Like, it's easier said than done, but he really taught me that you can control your mind. And if you can't, your body follows, which is, for me, a huge thing. This is a very true story, and I'm not exaggerating it, and I have a video of it. It was his birthday. It was his 62nd birthday. And I think, right, shit, what do I get him? And we used to train together. We used to work out all the time. So I was like, all right, I'm going to give him some dumbbells for his birthday. Because he made this gym in his garden with like rocks and cables above a tree and stuff. And like, it was fucking epic.
Flintstone.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Nick came with me a few times. And so I gave him these 10 kilo dumbbells for his birthday, mate. He loved them. But he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to use these today. So he gave me a challenge. He said, let's see how many we can curl without stopping. Now, bear in mind, this is Wim's curls. It's not like a textbook bicep curl where you're squeezing at the top. It's literally doing that as many times as he can.
Like a normal curl, proper curl.
With 10 kilo dumbbells. So he's not getting the squeeze or the contractions. He's just moving the motion. So I thought, okay, I reckon I could do maybe 80 to 100 like that. So I give it a go. I'm not like I say, I'm not squeezing at the top. I'm not controlling it down. I'm just doing the motion. I think I got 130-ish before everything just gave in. And I've got a strong mindset. I mean, you know what I'm like in the gym, like a freak, to be fair, with like pain thresholds and stuff. But at this point, I just like couldn't even close my hand. Like, it was ridiculous. Have a guess how many Wim did. First time ever playing with dumbbells, 62 years old, 10 kilo dumbbells without stopping.
I want to say like maybe 50.
Not quite. You know this, right?
I know this story,
Yeah.
Mate, he stopped at 1,000.
What?
He got to 1,000. He's like, oh, this is a round number, and threw them on the floor. Then he went and started doing like a 10-minute plank. But he did 1,000 reps, and I haven't.
The guy's crazy, right?
He's fucking nuts, but in such an amazing way.
Yeah, in a positive way, though. But
like,
he's
I'm
mentally
friends with the world's strongest man, and like we are friends with a lot of strong men. Literally, world's strongest man. But Wim is probably the strongest man I know.
Yeah,
mentally for his age, and just
he does
the stuff he does. I don't know how he does it.
At his age, are not capable.
Nuts.
yeah. Well, he like swam under a load of ice, right? Like he dropped into the ice and then swam like ages and then pops up.
His retina froze.
Really?
Yeah, he was telling me in the sauna, he swam under the ice and it was so cold, his retinas actually froze. I mean, I don't know about you, but if that happened to me, I would shit my pants. He's just
doesn't he have
level,
like
man.
26 or 27 Guinness Book of Records?
Yeah,
his name.
Something like that. Yeah.
That's how much.
But he's easily the most impressive human I know. But he's the nicest, most caring, gentle soul he is. He just wants to change the world and make everybody happy.
Right.
He told me just to be a better person and more like open-minded in general. But yeah, he's fascinating. He only eats one meal a day too, so he tends to fast for most of the day.
Intermittent fasting.
Meal. Yeah, but he's very health conscious too. He eats very well.
He's fit too.
Mate, he's as strong as an ox.
He can keep up with you all day long.
He's like a kid. He is.
He outruns us.
Yeah, he's
energy-wise, he outruns us.
Mate, he's an animal.
Yeah.
But
62 as well.
63 now.
63 now. But mate, he's an inspiring guy. And what he does as well is every year he adds a minute to his ice bath on his birthday. Wow. So he has a birthday ice bath, and last year was 62 minutes, and this year was 63 minutes.
An hour.
Yeah, he's a beast, man. Yeah. But honestly, he's just such a great
easy
guy.
too.
Yeah,
he just does it.
I suppose he does that like every day, right?
He speaks like
that made him
9
strong.
languages or something nuts.
9 languages.
So something like that is 7.
He's a smart person.
Very intelligent guy. Very intelligent. But no, he's just a legend, man. And we've all met him. So obviously Nick used to live pretty close to me in the Netherlands, and I used to train with him so much. You know, we just go and join in, and like we never abused his time or anything. You know, we never took him away from what he does with classes. We used to just to hang out and train.
Yeah.
He taught us a lot. We helped him like learn about actually like lifting weights and stuff because he loved it. He always liked the pulley machines. You know, he loved
training.
Yeah, he loves training.
Yeah.
And then with Kyle, this was like more of a surprise for him. Actually, it was quite a funny story. So Kyle at the time was doing strongman, and I was with another company at the Arnold Expo in the UK, and I was like, you know, I want to see if I can like bring Kyle somehow. So I managed to convince who I was with that we needed security on the booth, and thank God we did, because we needed it in the end for when Wim came. So I brought Kyle down as but like the booth security guy in case it was needed. And then, I didn't tell him that Wim was coming. And then I said, we need to go get somebody from the airport. And then we picked him up in the car, and it was Wim Hof. And it was fucking epic surprise for Kyle anyway. And then, he was, what do you call it again? The Buddha.
The Buddha, yeah.
The Buddha.
So Kyle was like driving him around.
I think it was more the body shape though.
Yeah.
This guy's like a Buddha.
You know? And then, that's how we met Wim. But he's great, man. He's like one of these mythical guys that, you know, like those, do you know those pissed old men you get in pubs that just talk shit? That's like Wim, but everything Wim says is actually true. Yeah. You know, like these crazy stories that old guys tell you, like from when they were kids, that are just obviously made up. Now, Wim's stories are actually true. That's the most fascinating thing.
In 100 years' time, someone will talk about Wim Hof, and someone just won't believe that man existed.
Yeah.
Like the stuff that he's done, the stuff that he's capable of, people just won't believe that it was even possible.
Yeah. True. I mean, we played at DEF CON, man. We got Wim Hof to play. We made a song with him and Vitsa, my friend Psychopunks. We made a song together, which incorporated his breathing method into a hardstyle, like high energy song. We played that at DEF CON 1 in front of, I think it was like 70, 80,000 people. mate, it was epic. He was on stage in front of 70,000 people doing his breathing exercise, and the whole crowd's doing it. You know, it's sick. And then there's a big build up and then a drop, so everyone's like, it was like really primal. You know, everyone's like together, just breathing with each other to the flow of the music, and Wim on stage, and all of a sudden there's a big drop with lots of energy, and everyone's just primal and being together, and no thought about work or stress or drama or like problems at home. We're all free in that moment. And yeah, that was epic. But you know, just shows that we can do one extreme to another with him. He's just he's an epic guy. He really is. Taught me a lot. And
True.
Yeah, I wonder what he's doing right now. Actually, he's probably sitting humming in his cave or something. Yeah. He does it all the time. Like everywhere you go, he just randomly just go,
Yeah, he did it in the car a lot.
all the time.
Yeah.
And he writes songs all the time, doesn't he? Like, yeah, he just doesn't stop. He's a I don't want to say a workhorse. He's just motivated. He's driven by life. He just wants to change the world, which is so like admirable. Like when you're around him, you want to do more.
Yeah.
You're encouraged, and you just feel like shit. I want to be like this guy.
Feel like anything's possible being around
Oh,
someone.
mate, for sure. Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
Well, for sure. How do you get started on Instagram?
Oh, how did I get started on Instagram? I remember the first day I made Instagram. It was because of a friend, Justin Chong, in Vegas. So I was on Facebook. I didn't even have like a fan page on there. I just had my personal account. But I posted a picture on there, like my first topless picture, and it went a little bit viral. And this guy, he was a photographer from China called Justin Chong. Bless him, he passed away. But he basically said, you have this great look that I'm looking for. Blonde hair, blue eyes, good physique, quite white skin. I'm going to Mr. Olympia in Vegas, and I'd love to shoot you. Do you want to come? So he paid for my flight. Bear in mind, I was 19, and I'd never done anything like this before. Like I literally just started going to the gym. So I went out there to do a photo shoot with him. I was there for 5 days, I think. And in those 5 days, I think I did 7 photo shoots for 7 different, like quite well-respected photographers. Landed 3 magazine covers in my first week ever of like
Doing it.
You know, even post my first picture. It was nuts.
You were different.
I was just different.
Not all like a sofa.
Yeah, I really did. But that was then. So there's like, oh, make a page because you're going to need to post these pictures on that page. And within the
That's how it started.
Yeah, within the first 3 days, I had 10,000 followers.
No.
But it was because these photographers had the following anyway.
They posted you.
Yeah. But in the beginning, I think my first 100,000 followers, I think seriously 90% were a gay audience. But it was because I was in like the fitness industry, like the fitness modeling industry. I was doing a lot of work with magazines and GQ and stuff. And, you know, the bodybuilding side of it didn't come for like years later. So the reason the bodybuilding started was because in the fitness industry, you need to be like ripped. You know, I'm doing a lot of like Calvin Klein shoots and things like that, you know, underwear stuff. You know, I had to be in shape, but me keeping in shape progressively over years and years of still growing with puberty and everything anyway, I was naturally just getting bigger. And as I was getting bigger and stronger and while keeping lean, people were starting to see my genetic potential. And it was actually, I mean, I'd been approached maybe 10 times before about competing, but I was just always like, nah, I'm not doing that. You know, it's not for me. I liked food too much, really. It was Barry DeMay, a Dutch legend in bodybuilding, who convinced me to do it. He's like, we were sat on a plane next to each other back from the Arnold Classics. So I was at the Arnold Classics like as a sponsored athlete for a brand.
We're currently offering buy 2 get 1 free on an entire range of natural supplements. Everything's manufactured here in the UK in our brand new manufacturing facility. It's also third party tested, now over 100,000 happy customers. Click the link below to get buy 2 get 1 free on our entire range of natural supplements.
So yeah, anyway, so Barry was there for whatever reason, but just by chance, we sat next to each other on a flight back to Amsterdam because my connection flight was in Amsterdam and he lives there. I'm sat next to this guy in a plane and I could see he's like in his 50s. I'm like, fucking hell, the arms on this guy are ridiculous. He's jacked. So I just said, oh, were you at the Arnold? He says, yeah. And we just started talking. And I said, oh, I'm a fitness model. He goes, oh, what's a fitness model? So I showed him my pictures and I'll never forget it. He looked at my first picture and went, hey, like this. That was his response. And behind him was Rolly Winkler. I had no idea who he was at the time. Yeah. I wasn't even into bodybuilding. He said, Ronnie, I think I found the guy. And so basically what I didn't realize was Berry was looking for somebody to coach under his wing with the right genetics. Someone who kind of reminded himself of him when he was younger, I guess. But apparently I ticked all the boxes he was looking for. So we started working together. He said he would coach me for free. He would help me get to the best in the world. And it was him that convinced me to compete. Like, he really said, you've got the genetics for this. And that's when I thought, right, okay, I'm gonna get into this and give it a go. If someone like this guy, who's a legend in the sport, is telling me to compete, and I've got all the potential in the world to do it, then yeah, that's what started me. But yeah, man, Instagram and everything, it all started from a little post in the gym in my local leisure center. Like, I was training because at school I was super skinny, super pale, like played RuneScape 14 hours a day and shit.
You still pale.
Yeah, I didn't really have I wasn't like a popular guy or anything, and I wanted to have girls. I wanted to get a girlfriend. I wanted to be like this popular guy and all this shit. And I was actually inspired by Jersey Shore originally.
Jersey Shore, I remember that, yeah.
Because everybody in school was watching it, and like they were all tanned and jacked and shit. And I wouldn't mind like that lifestyle, you know. So it's kind of inspired by them. And then Ziz came along. I was fucking massively inspired by him. Because his message really hit me, because I was picked on quite a lot. I was never like physically bullied, but like little comments and stuff, and it really used to affect me. And he was all about, don't give a fuck about what anyone says, live your life, you know, haters gonna hate. And mate, it just it hit me so hard, and I thought, fuck it, he's right. So, you know, when I was telling my parents and my family and friends that I want to be a bodybuilder, and 99% of them laughed in my face, like, I held his message in my heart. I was like, haters gonna fucking hate. I'm gonna prove these cunts wrong. Like, and I really had his attitude. I was going,
but it fueled you, right?
Yeah, it fueled me like crazy. But,
positive.
You know, that's how I really began. Was, you know, I was sick of the old life I had. You know, I was 17, 18 years old, whatever, playing RuneScape 14 hours a day. Not 17, 18, like maybe 15, 16. You know, everyone else is starting to get girlfriends and going out and stuff, and I was like a little freak in my bedroom, just wasting my life away killing cows on the fucking computer screen. I was like, nah, I need to change my life. And then that was it. Just thought, here we go, new chapter. And mate, what were my packed lunches like bringing into school? Like, when I decided to start dieting,
could have fed a family of 4. Like, we could have all had a good meal off them.
Mate, I used to come into school, right, with this fucking, it wasn't like packed lunch box, it was like it must have been like a chef's Tupperware box, big fucking thing.
Lunch bucket.
Filled, mate, because I didn't know what dieting was. Like, because obviously back then social media wasn't what it is now with the information. So all I knew was protein was good. Mate, I had like 5 tins of tuna, 10 eggs, fucking chicken, fish, and beans, just all mixed in a big tub. That was my food for the whole day. I used to stink the classroom out, mate. I would fart all the time. Everyone's like puking on it. Wait, they were like sewage. I used to get like Mr. Tasker, my graphics teacher, was the only teacher that actually let me eat it in the classroom because it smelled so bad. But he was a taekwondo teacher, you know, so he was supporting me with it. But mate, like, I used to have to eat separately from everyone because the smell of my food was so bad. Like, people would come up to me like, "What the fuck are you eating?" And I was like, "I'll show you. I'll show you one day, you know."
I'll show you.
Yeah, it's funny. You know, Drew Reed.
Yeah.
I saw him like a year ago, and this is a guy I went to school with, hadn't seen for like 10 years. He came back to the UK, and the first thing he said to me when he saw me was like, "Oh mate, it's so good to see you." He's like, "Yeah, those stinking fucking lunches paid off." You know? So, yeah, but it was fun, man. Good times.
So I've got a question. When as Jacopo was like saying we were, you know, he was talking to you, I googled you, and it was like, did you win like 300k on poker or something?
Oh yeah, 356,000.
That's fucking mental. What's the story like that?
Well, I split it straight away, 50-50 with a friend.
Yeah.
It was mental. So it's his fucking fault, Shecky's fault.
My fault, man.
Yeah, he got me into gambling and.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, it's your fault.
That's me into this. But the guy's always lucky.
Swear to God.
Except for when it comes
to true. Okay, that's all. Stakes is
I don't know what it is.
When we go on a gambling slot machine or whatever, I lose, he fucking wins. It's always the same shit.
It's the same every time. Every time.
Wait, it's mad, mate. I was in Vegas 4 for EDC.
Yeah.
All my friends are big DJs, you know, like Yorit's a friend of ours, and a bunch of other them, the big DJs in the hardstyle scene. And one of my best friends, he lives in Vegas anyway, so I thought, okay, why don't we make a 2-in-1 trip? It was my mum's birthday. I thought, why don't I take my mum to Vegas? We'll have a nice holiday. But she only stayed for a week. When she flew back home, I thought, I'm going to stay for a couple of weeks by myself, my friend, and just enjoy Vegas, you know? Like, I can essentially work from anywhere as long as there's a gym and Wi-Fi. Let's go to Vegas, do some content and whatever. And this one night, me and my friend, we went to like this space exhibition thing. It was amazing. Like, you got to explore the universe and stuff, and it's all trippy and it's really cool. But we were leaving because it finished at like 10 p.m., which for Vegas is really early. So like, oh, well, what should we do now? And he just went, do you want to go play some poker? I was like, yeah, I'm down. Like, I love poker. I love gambling. I'm not gonna lie, it's so fun. You know, especially in Vegas, it's where you go for most cases. I said, yeah, of course. But we always used to play the same places: Aria, Bellagio, Caesar's Palace, like the high end, like the way.
He went to a different one, right?
But this time, I don't know what made him say it, but he's like, yeah, should we go try somewhere else? I was like, if you want, you know the place better than I do. And he took me to Planet Hollywood, and it's okay. It's like, I would say like a 3-star hotel out of the rest of the 5s. It's like not the best, not the worst. But it's cheaper to play there. So like, if you go on a blackjack table here, I think the minimum bet's like £5 per thingy. But in Aria, it's like $50 per. So it's more expensive. I think Planet Hollywood was like the $25, so it was in the middle. But we started playing 4-card poker. Right? It's the funnest game, funnest table game there is. So the rules of the game is you get 5 cards in your hand, and you're meant to make a hand out of 4 of them. But there's a jackpot light, which is $5 per go. And so we sit down, and we had this agreement from the beginning of the trip. If either of us won a jackpot over a certain amount, we split it 50-50. So we're both happy with that. So we're playing. I think I started with like $1,000. I went down to like 100, and I went back up to like 1,200. It's like just hit and miss you all night.
Going on and on.
But then I'll never forget it as long as I live. I had this feeling, and it was like a butterfly feeling in my stomach when the hand came to me. And I looked at my friend. I was like, mate, it's a good hand, this one. And I used to pick it up the same way. I'm like a bit superstitious. I picked it up like this, and I found. But this time, when I picked it up, it was with my left hand first, and I was like, "Oh shit! Like maybe I fucked the card." So I started waving the cards, thinking like, if I wave it, I'll change it. Right? And I open it up and I look. So I hide the suit, so I can't see if it's red. I can't see if it's a heart or a diamond, because if you get 4 red cards and they're all diamonds, like it could be a flush. And for me, it was a bit more. Anticipation, a bit more fun. So I started peeling back, and I saw the king, the jack, the ace. I'm like, oh, it's 3 from the royal, the 10, and then the queen, but they were all black. So I put it down like this. I was like, guys, I might have a royal flush. And they're like, are you serious? I'm like, well, I might. And they were, what do you mean you might? I said, well, I've checked the cards. I've got a straight, ace to 10, but they're all black in my hand. So then my friend who was on seat 1, he opens his hand first, and he had the king, queen, and jack of clubs. So I'm like, oh my God, like, I know for a fact I've got 3 spades. The 4th guy had the ace of clubs. So we're all at this point screaming for the 10 of spades, because we knew I had 4 to the royal flush. Yeah. And when she turned over, I had the royal flush, man. The whole place went ballistic. Wow. Apparently, I didn't make a sound. I'm just like stood there looking at it like this
flabbergasted, right? It was a shock. I remember he called me. I woke up. I got the time difference. Yeah. And then it's like, Nick, mate, you gotta wake up. out. I'm like, okay, you fuckhead. What's up? I was sleep. I waved the sleep out of my eyes. I look. He's like this big of a video. Look what I want, man. I'm like, oh yeah, lucky bastard again.
Like,
you know, I was sad
I
was so happy for him. I looked at him like, mate, it's 1 out of a million, right?
Yeah, something. Yeah, but the thing is, they taxed it. So it was 350,000. They taxed me 100,000 immediately. Ooh. And then I had to split that 250 with my mates.
That was the gambling tax there too.
Yeah.
Similar. Yeah.
They have a gambling tax.
Yeah. In the Netherlands, it's 32. It's called winstbelasting.
33%.
Winst, profit is 32%.
It's only in the UK and like Malta you don't have that, mate. Yes, but so that happened. That was fun. And then the next day, so I didn't sleep that night. at all. Like we carried 250k back to our house in cash. It was nuts. Yeah, just
they had stacks of money, right?
Yeah.
I'd so then sketch carrying that.
Yeah. So then we went trying to sleep. I went to his room at like 5 a.m. and I was like, "Are you asleep?" No. Like,
adrenaline rushing.
Yeah. So then anyway, the next day I think I had like maybe 2 hours sleep, and I went back to the Aria. So I was like, I want to keep playing. Like, I've got a bit of money now to play with.
And it comes again.
So then playing again, nothing crazy. Like, I didn't like start going tits with it. I was still like $100 or $200 like in a slot machine or whatever. And then I think I made like $300 the next day just playing for a few hours. And so $300 is great.
Yeah, of course.
But I was hungry, so I went to this cafe place to get a sandwich. It was like a really nice high-end place for food. And so I was going to be 5 minutes, so I was playing like blackjack and craps and stuff with my friend. But then I just saw the slot machine next to the sandwich place. I'll stick $100 in. Mate, I won the fucking jackpot on that the next day. $10,000.
But that was the magic coin link.
Yeah, the coin one.
I played that game once in a while with a friend of mine. We used to play. It's like, you have to collect 5 coins, and then you get like a screen. And whatever's on the screen, you can get a bad screen or a good screen, right?
Yeah.
It can pop on the grand or the major bonus or whatever. It can pop on, but also can do nothing. Sometimes you get like $1 or so. It's like fucked.
It's either really good or really shit.
Yeah.
But so like it came up with a grand symbol, and the coin just
hit
landed on it, and I'm like, what? I couldn't believe it. I was with a client of mine, Mark,
again, right?
And he didn't know what was going on, and I'm like, man, I just won $10,000 again. He's like,
he's lucky again. Yeah. Always lucky, I told you.
I don't know what happened, mate. It was nuts. But to be fair, mate, it's weird. I mean, I found faith like a few months before this happened, and I started like praying for things, man. And like we were at this wishing well like 2 days before the jackpot happened, and I actually wished to win a jackpot. Like the whole fashioned flick a coin and make a wish. I actually wished. I was like, let me win a jackpot while I'm here. And then it happened 2 days later.
That's mental.
And I don't want to say I manifested it, but it's really spooky.
Oh, but I believe in manifesting too, man. Maybe.
At the time of my life I was in,
it worked in your favor.
The worst time of my life. Like, it really was. I lost my physique. I lost my sponsors. My family's health was tragic. Like, just everything was going wrong in my life. Where I had to like provide and be there for a lot of people. And that just saved everything. It did. So like, I don't want to say I was in debt or anything, but it just lifted this huge weight off the shoulders, and I managed to start looking after the people who were close to me more and providing for them. Like, when
it happened at the right time in the right place.
Yeah, 100%. So I didn't go out and start like blasting it on cars and stuff. Like, not at all. Like, it hasn't even happened. Like, I haven't spent it on anything really. Except like maybe a steak from here and there, but it saved me in the time when I needed it, like for, you know, what was happening around me in my life at the time. Yeah, it was.
It uplifted you mentally too.
Yeah, it was crazy. So, yeah, that was a crazy time, to be fair, mate. It was. But,
we just started playing poker, like me and my friends. And I was like, all the fun.
I'm sponsored by GG Poker, to be fair.
Yeah,
I'm with them, and I used to be with Poker Stars back in the day. Like. I was playing big cash games with Tony G in Vegas that weekend and stuff, and yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. But I love poker. It's a great game.
Yeah,
it's like chess. I mean, I'm obsessed with chess at the minute. It's my new thing. But anything, I mean, look, I'm sat here playing with this band. I'm very ADHD. Anything that stimulates both my mind and my hands at the same time, I'm all over it. And I think poker is one of the best things for that. I loved it, man.
Yeah, but you understand the game too. Have to like proper understand.
Yeah, you got to really
be a good player.
Yeah, it's another thing. Like, there's so much information out there. If you really put the time and effort in, fucking hell, you can be a wizard at it pretty quickly. Oh yeah. But,
anything else you guys want to talk about?
Maybe we can dive a little more deeper in supplements.
Yeah. Talk about some supplements.
Is that a good thing?
Yeah.
We didn't delve completely into them.
I think for the people watching, like, Kyle is the best person to have here. Like, we've touched on it already, but you know, he's 30 years old. We were just celebrating his 30th birthday a couple of weeks ago, and you know, he came to me as like, look, mate, I want to kind of change my life a little bit. And I'm so fucking supportive of him. I'll do anything I can to help him, always. But it made me think too, like, it's not just Kyle is in this position where he wants to change and become healthier and have like kids and a happy relationship in terms of like health wise, and he can provide and be supportive for family and friends, and not have any risks or anything, like a little voice in the back of his mind for health concerns, especially sleep apnea. It's a scary thing.
Like you said, he doesn't want to die young.
Yeah, having to sleep with a machine is fun.
My blood work came back at 4.87.
Testosterone.
That's pretty low.
It's pretty low.
That's very low.
So I'm excited to see what happens. I mean, we're going to start taking them first day today. So we'll see. Get tested again in sort of 8 12
What would be
weeks.
the sweet spot to test? Be within 30 days or a month?
Probably say like 6 weeks.
6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah. So 8 weeks maximum, then test, draw blood again.
Yeah.
And you see from the start to the end what it has done, right?
Did you say you started the TRT?
I'm going to start today.
You're gonna start TRT as well?
Yeah. Oh no, sorry. I'd started the TRT. Noticed some sort of like
It was just a gel.
there was no real
gel,
positives
cream.
from it. I didn't feel that much better. I didn't feel like my life was improving off it. But my balls were shrinking.
Yeah.
all the bad side effects of it without the positives. I mean, I didn't get my bloods taken again, but it didn't have that positive effect that I wanted it to have on my life.
Yeah.
I've made some other, I've made some other changes as well. Obviously,
Never used cream, so I don't know how it. I'm guessing it is not so potent or strong as like
It can't be.
an injection, but
Surely.
no.
it is.
Yeah, I made some other sort of dietary changes. Obviously, sort of Nick, sort of so clued up on sort of what lowers your test levels and all the rest of it, and Zac as well, and sort of like help from yourself as well. It's sort of like getting all that information. It's sort of making those changes as well as taking the supplements.
Yeah.
You can't. There's no sort of magic switch that you can take.
No.
Even if you decide to inject yourself as a last resort, you still need to work your ass off in the gym. You need to eat the right things. It's not magic.
Yeah.
There is no even steroids ain't magic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, but what's good is like Kyle's very relatable to many men in the UK in terms of like being overweight, being in his 30s now, working a 9-to-5 job, and having a lot of responsibilities with family too. Doesn't have kids yet, but doesn't mean doesn't have responsibilities. Always looking after other family members, kids and things. But so he, I don't want to say has the excuse, but there's a big lifestyle change difference between me and Kyle. I have the freedom to train when I want, and I don't have to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, do a grueling day of work, like back-breaking job, to come home and then be tired and fatigued, and we just want to sit and eat fucking junk food because you're depressed. And I mean, I've been there too. Like when I was fucking miserable and depressed, I just wanted to eat and like play games all day, which then makes you worse.
Yeah.
So what I think great with Kyle is if we can do this properly now together as a team and change his lives completely. I mean, shit, that's going to inspire so many men out there to be like, look, this is where I wasn't happy. I just decided one day to make a change, and it was as simple as that. Look at me now.
Go from one extreme to another.
I'm fucking excited to see you in like 8 weeks, mate. I really am. Like,
I look forward to making those improvements.
I mean, how much you say you lost in 1 week? 5 kilos?
Yeah, it's 5.4 kilos it was. I mean,
that's this week.
I weighed 164.4 kilos.
Yeah.
On last Friday,
Saturday,
and I weighed in at 158.8.
Wow.
So already
So if you keep that up, it's gonna fucking fly off.
That's without taking the sort of
that's just diet,
testosterone stack as well. That's
cardio,
just diet, general supplements like K2, ashwagandha, that sort of stuff. But yeah, looking forward to see where we'll go.
What? So what did I send you? I sent you Tonkat and Fadogia.
No, I didn't get those.
I didn't send Tonkat and Fadogia.
No, I've actually got a photograph of what I got.
I can say, or you can take some while you're here.
for sure.
That would be the best. That would be a good.
The basic testosterone stack from Natural Foundation, right? So the Tongkat Ali, Cistanche, fadogia, agrestis.
Yeah, but like speaking of Wim Hof, like if we combine what we do, our lifestyles and diet and supplementation, and with his methods, mate, you're gonna produce a fucking army of like proper warrior style men. I must have forgot. An army of Nicks over here. Look at him. I got a fucking jawline,
Viking.
No, I must have forgot to send you the Tongkat. So ashwagandha is obviously like for stress. And, can also.
But that correlates to testosterone too.
Yeah.
Lower stress, high testosterone.
Sorry, should we give Sylvester a little shout out in this podcast?
That's fantastic. Bringing up this.
It's my favorite story, man. I love it. It's
about the hack squad.
Yeah. Mate, it's epic.
Oh, you can do a little in between if you like. Coming out of the blue, but anyway, okay.
I just thought of it there. And by the way, viewers at home, did you know Nick is Hitler's biggest fan? We'll leave that bit out. Okay.
Fucker. Think I'm crazy. But to delve more into supplements, right? To finish that bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
It's good to speak more a bit about what they can do, what the products are, and like go in depth.
How important are supplements?
Well, in these days,
2024,
I believe supplements are very important because we cannot get it all from our diets anymore. So diets have been processed, been sprayed, nutrition value goes down. So yeah, you have to fill in the bits, in my opinion anyway.
Yeah. So, it's a shame you have to now, but
it is what it is. You can't go around that part. So
absolutely,
if you just do it in an efficient way.
You have, like for whatever reason, farming practices, there is just less nutrition in the food.
Yeah.
So like there's studies that, we're massively deficient in potassium, massively deficient in magnesium, zinc, obviously vitamin D, like depending on where you are in the winter, that's obviously not really from diet, but, all these like minerals that have massive health repercussions from being deficient in them. We used to get them from our food, like there was actual like nutrients in the soil, and then obviously like
80 years ago.
Yeah,
you cannot compare, like, for example, a broccoli from 80 years back in the day as of now.
I went into
flavors changing all the veg.
Oh, everything.
There's a taste, there is.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is, but you can tell it's been sprayed.
Yeah.
Plus, on the alternative side, you can buy GMO-free food and stuff, but the costs are
so expensive.
Yeah, it's so expensive.
Even by biological supermarkets.
Yeah.
We go there once in a while, and I'm shocked. I bring back 5 jars and down 30 euros.
I went to America. This is no joke. I was with my mum in California. Went to Whole Foods. It's brilliant. You'd love it. You'd ejaculate if you walk in that place. It's like the size of Costco. There's all GMO-free foods and it's all natural. It's brilliant. But mate,
anyway.
I bought a packet of nuts. I had, I think we counted like 15 almonds in it. It was $9.
That's insane.
Mate,
so for the most common people,
it's unaffordable.
No, it's unaffordable.
You have to be like rich to live that.
Maybe at least above average to even pay. Yeah.
Sweet potatoes in Sainsbury's it's like a bag of 2 potatoes and it's like £3 or £4. And then obviously like the bag of like 10 potatoes is like £1.
But you can get a double cheeseburger at McDonald's for $1.29.
Yeah.
It's like 1,000 calories.
Yeah, why is a bottle of water sometimes more expensive than a bottle of Coca-Cola?
Yeah.
What do you mean sometimes? Like, it was always more expensive.
Everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Mate,
why is this?
Here's one for you, which really pissed me off. Like, I wanted to say something, but it wasn't really my place. I've been in a hospital a lot recently with my dad, bless him. He's had a rough journey recently. But every single time I've been in hospital, I mean, even when you came in that time, mate, you go into the cafeteria to get a meal, or you want to get like a drink or a snack, or, people staying in there for weeks sometimes. Mate, the only thing you can buy in there are sweets and crisps and pasties and Coke and
all misery.
Mate, there's nothing healthy. There was one little bowl of fruit that was like rotten, and then water. That's it. It's the most unhealthy, toxic fucking... in a hospital of all places, a place where people are sick and need to be healed,
the most,
and need to be like brought back to health.
Customers are lost customers.
Yeah.
Right? In the middle, you're not healthy, you're not dying, you're in the middle. That will keep you like ongoing.
It blows my mind though, man. It does. It just blows my mind. And then another thing is, I watched this show the other day. I had to turn it off. I can't remember whose house I was. I think I was at my partner's parents' house. But there was this show that was on about this guy. He was like a doctor or something, and he was basically going around fat shaming people who were overweight. He was going around saying, "Oh, you're like this because you're fat," and he was using the word "fat" a lot, like for the shock factor. Mate, this fucker was fat himself. Like, he was skinny and he had a belly, like a little pot belly. He wasn't morbidly obese like the guy on the show, but he was fucking fat. Like, what's going on with the world, man? Like, it blows my mind.
It does, huh?
Like, there was a show when I was a kid. I think it was like, what was it called? Biggest Loser or something. Remember that when they used to get these proper jacked fitness trainers and used to absolutely smash these like obese people into losing weight, but it worked. And it wasn't like PG-13. They were like, let's fucking go. Like, I'm going to make you puke. You train so hard. Like, we need to bring that shit back.
Yeah.
But yeah, mate, hospitals now, like, if you try and get a good meal in the hospital, you can't. It's shocking. It's just sugar shit.
This is what I was thinking. Like more broadly, like, you know, you go and buy like vegetables, but like how much nutrients do they actually have? Like, I tested a potato in Sainsbury's I sent it to Eurofins to like test the
nutrition value.
Yeah, like I think I did like iron, zinc, magnesium, potassium, and like you would to meet the RDA, you'd need to eat like 50 potatoes, you know. Like fucking
get what you should
to get what you should. So that's why it's like to supplement.
You know, in I think it's Okinawa in Japan, they have the highest percentage of centenarians in the world for population size, and it's a really high number. I think let's just, for example, say the UK has 2% people live till 100 or whatever. I know that's not right at all, but in Okinawa, it's like 18%. It's a fucking dramatic difference. The reason is where they are living, it's deep in this nature-rich valley. You know, it's like a real thriving community in there, and they all grow their own fruit and veg and meats, and it's all naturally done. And
no GMO, no pesticides, no spraying, no bullshit.
Like there's a own there elderly that only the youngest age that qualifies you to live there is 100. Mate, there's people in there from 100 to 115, like living a really healthy lifestyle. Like there was a woman in the program, I think she was 109, and she was still farming every day, like raking the fucking the seeds and veg, and it's unbelievable, man.
And as well, because they're farming their own stuff, they'll have like good crop rotation.
Yeah, right.
So like obviously different plants will deplete the soil of different nutrients, but then if you like grow something else, you allow those nutrients to develop. Whereas like, you know, industrial farming, it's like money. Of course. Well, what can we can like grow that's the most profitable?
I mean, to be fair, after seeing Clarkson's farm, I was shocked at like how
bad it is.
Fucked it is, man. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? It's shocking. It's scary. Like without farmers and food, we'll all die. And it's just.
There's a guy who was a farmer. I can't remember who it was, and he was like, I'm being paid by the government to not farm, so I'm going to not farm. But then, like, what if all the farms are doing this? Like, where the fuck is the food gonna come from? Like, you know,
mate, I'm scared that, you know, like, I'm seeing where the future's going, you know, since when I was a kid, and especially with like VRs and tablets and phones and Wi-Fi and just everything, how it's all, mate, technology in the past 20 years is scary quick. I am so scared that, like, I saw this in The Simpsons, you know, like, they seem to predict a lot of things. There's an
scary, actually.
There's an episode, man, where, you know, they took a pill and that was a meal. I believe we're on that fucking path.
That's fucking Huel. It's sucralose powder. It's powder. They put a load of synthetic shit vitamins in it, and then they add, like, a chocolate flavoring, and then they add
this. They literally say on the thingy, this is a meal.
It's not.
I don't know if it's on the bottle, but I remember I was in the airport the other day.
Yeah.
And I wanted a protein shake when we went Malta. Yeah. And I found this protein shake, and the sign says this is a meal, and it was a protein shake. Like, fuck, man, like,
isn't this the brand? This is food.
That's it. Yeah,
but it's full of seed oils and shit.
Yeah, it's
I don't know if you read the ingredients.
Yeah, but it looks nice, fancy labeling and stuff.
But that's Fuel as well, though. Like, I mean, for a year or so, I had Fuel for breakfast every day. This is like 5 years ago, before I had a fucking clue what I was doing, and that would have been horrific for my gut, because it's literally
bloats you like crazy,
artificial sweetener.
Too much sweetness can disrupt your gut flora too.
Artificial
and that stuff all day. Fuck.
Artificial sweeteners are literally the worst thing for gut, and the problem is as well, they're in stuff like Huel, which is marketed as food, but it's not food. Doesn't have real nutrients in it. It's just like synthetic vitamins.
Garbage.
Mate, do you know what the worst thing is for fucking your gut? Is chewing gum, man. That's
really
shocking.
And you know why? If you chew gum, you make enzymes when you chew to digest.
So your stomach thinks it's
exactly
chewing.
Trick your body, but nothing comes in, right? You chew on a piece of gum, but you cannot digest. So you activate this process. In a sense,
so your stomach starts churning without anything being
exactly.
You can cause like stomach ulcers and boils and
exactly. So chewing gum, people would do it a lot. It's just actually pretty bad for your health.
Yeah, but not only that, there's something in it. I forgot what the actual chemical is or the compound is, but it bloats me like crazy.
There's sweetness in it too.
There'll be sweetener, but it's unbelievable.
Aspartame, or usually they use different. It's actually a piece of plastic. If you know, it's. Chewing gum is just plastic.
Yeah, I think from the label, if there's got artificial sweetener in it, you should have to say like contains artificial sweetener, proven to be like bad for your gut, proven to be bad for health.
Sure. Some have warning signs like red dye 40, you know, these blue lay colorings. They can have like attention deficiencies if they can cause in children and stuff, and they have to be on the
it should be, man. It should be, especially for shit like that. But I mean, you know, it's like smoking, right? Like they put on the package.
That's clear night and day.
Yeah. It's like it's bad, but people will still fucking do it. But at least,
but mate, like you know, like smoking, like cancer from smoking cigarettes is mostly your DNA. You know, like it's the same.
A lot is written in your DNA what you're gonna get anyway.
Yeah, pretty much.
Type of diseases and stuff.
Like I know people who have smoked in like into like their hundreds and they're fine
still. Yeah.
But you know. They can label a lot of media saying it's bad for you, and they have to put all these warning signs, and people will get like their lungs ripped open and stuff on the boxes and shit.
With the scare
people off. Yeah, Mate, they're like, when it comes to food, they're making the labels as pretty as possible to have them. You know what I mean? Like, it'll happen soon. I truly hope so, because you know, back in like the 60s and shit, smoking was advertised on TV as a health fucking product.
My grandmother, for example, she had jars. Everyone had glass jars on the table, and then they would share out cigarettes as chocolates.
They ate smoking in airplanes and in restaurants and stuff.
I still remember the days in the trains, in the cinemas. You could smoke anywhere back in the day.
Mate, like the thing that blew my mind was I used to do karate when I was a kid. We'd do karate for like 2 hours with the whole team, and then I would go back into the pub upstairs. They'd all be drinking pints in the fucking karate office and just smoking cigarettes like constantly. And I was like, what? Like, why are you doing this shit? That was like 5, 6 years old, you know?
We need Eddie Abu as like the health secretary.
This is shit. He's right about a lot.
It'd make a big difference. It'd make a fucking big difference if he was calling the show.
Have you seen The Matrix?
I actually haven't.
What?
I actually.
This is the greatest documentary of all time. Anyway, no, there's a bit in there where the guy is just like, I don't even see food anymore. I just see proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, and like, you know. That's me, mate. Like at the minute, you know, like I'm so used to looking at the labels for everything. I don't even see the initial food anymore. Like I'll walk in and just see this is garbage, this is sugar, this is fucking.
Skip the marking.
Yeah, I don't see the shiny labels and stuff.
Since I'm aware of all this shit, usually I walk by aisles and stuff in supermarkets, and now everywhere I avoid seed oils like the plague, literally these days. But it's in fucking everything. I'm trying to get around it. But it's virtually almost impossible.
Like butter is really
some supplement brands. The capsules is all or the fat soluble vitamins. They mix it in sunflower oil. And I'm buying a D supplement, trying to be healthy. Read the label. Fuckers, they screwed me over again. So you really have to be aware about all this stuff.
Check the label.
Check labels.
Same thing got the weight logging for too. But like butter, for example, is really good for you. Like real butter. But I say real butter because if you get Lurpak spreadable, mate, it's like 50% sunflower oil.
Yeah.
Margarine's even worse. Like the ants, they walk around it. Well, you know, when ants walk around it, don't take it.
Yeah.
Stay away. Literally.
That is fucked.
Yeah, it's just the world we're in right now, isn't it? But hopefully we can change it.
You can, you know, having said all this stuff, you can sort of replenish some of the nutrient deficiencies with supplements, like, and not even
fill in the gaps.
Yeah, not even that many. Like, if you just talking about like the nutrient deficiencies with like CMOS, ZMA, electrolytes, D3, you could pretty much
go a long way.
It covers pretty. I mean, CMOS of itself is like 192 of 102.
You almost cover all the minerals already.
Almost there, but then like, you know, you want like a good source of zinc, a good source of magnesium, and then obviously D3 like first. And
also what's important to add on is that there are forms of magnesium, like oxide, doesn't absorb for shit. So go for citrate, bisglycinate. Way better options that actually absorb in your body. So cheaper forms, real cheap forms. They don't do shit for your body.
What you're saying is, like, I essentially take all of these, I'm going to be like the world's strongest man, the healthiest.
Started with Tongkat,
Tongkat is the most strongest of the.
It is the strongest, and you know, it literally makes some people sick if you take it on an empty stomach. It's that type of supplement.
I recommend always like eat it with a
I always eat
containing meal or something because it absorbs better.
You got
also with fat soluble vitamins on an empty stomach you won't absorb.
You take vitamin D with fat.
I'm after
has to be done.
My real one's always high fat. Always I have like
with your eggs and whatever.
7, 8 eggs sometimes, but usually around 5 or 6 eggs in the morning with avocado, healthy oil on top of it.
They're already there, right?
And shit, and then I'll have some carbs with that too. Not a lot, but Yeah, just a little bit. I find that, I prefer to have carbs in the evening. They help me sleep, actually. You know, people think carbs give you energy, like long-lasting energy through the day.
I
crash on them, you know. So I have my fats in the morning, and then after meal one, that's when I take my vitamins, my supplements, whilst I've had their food. And that's what I would personally recommend for anyone taking these supplements, is to get a good meal in first.
Yeah.
And then have it.
I think what's also very ongoing problem nowadays is everyone becomes insulin, not sensitive to insulin anymore.
Dependent, mate.
Well, yeah, what you can do also is take a berberine supplement. It pulls out blood sugar out of the bloodstream more efficiently. So it helps also like stabilizing your insulin levels. So your crashes won't be
so bad, yeah.
So bad, actually. Yeah, exactly.
Right, like kids are dependent on sugar now. Have you not noticed it?
Yeah.
Like, have you not noticed, like, when we were kids, like, when we were younger, like, kids might cry for like a minute or something, then they'd stop. And hey, kids now are having like full blown rages and like genuine withdrawals, mate. You see them and like having like fucking fits, and it's because.
And if you give them sugar, they go ballistic, right? They start screaming and the energy's all over the place. Yeah.
Every meal they have, it's in it. They take the McDonald's, like the fries have sugar in.
Yeah. I mean, Coke as well.
Everything, man. Like a parent now, give them an iPad and give them sugar and they'll stop. Mate, they're just feeding this addiction more and more and more. And by the time they're 6 years old, they're going to fucking be an addict. Like, it's nuts.
I think
sugar is drugs, actually.
Yeah. But that's what, you know, NMN and Burburin are so interesting, right? Because obviously, like, when you do have massive blood sugar spikes, not only do you then have to deploy the insulin, but obviously when you have that elevated blood sugar, like, it's very bad for the aging process. Like,
it speeds up the aging.
It speeds up, and that's why NMN is like considered anti-aging, right? Because obviously, if your blood sugar is high, you're gonna have, like, it even damages your eyes. It can damage your vision.
Blurry vision.
Blurry vision.
I used to get this, actually.
Really?
Yeah, when I was bulking, I used to dirty bulk, and I would notice that
you saw more blurry.
It was just like I had to focus more at certain times.
Squeeze your eyes more. It's a form of, right?
Yeah. Like a brain fog. I wasn't even blind or anything, but
brain fog too.
Yeah, brain fog. I mean, yeah. So it's bad for your liver, it's bad for your kidneys, it's bad for your heart, it's bad for everything. But if you're like, you know, you are dirty bulking, or perhaps you do want to just slow down the aging process.
The camera off, is it?
Yeah, that one went off ages ago as well.
So just got the one.
Those two have short battery, but that one.
So that one works still.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, no, you know, you just grab a Burburin or NMN. Obviously, like that, the glucose from the blood will just go into the cell, not only give you more energy, but also like slow down aging.
And NMN is derived from a B vitamin, right? B3, niacin.
Yeah.
But niacin gives you a niacin flush. This doesn't.
Yeah, it can give you like hot flushes.
Some people think this is an allergic reaction. You get booked, but it's just a reddish flush and it feels not comfortable. Yeah. But that goes away within an hour or so. But if you take too much niacin, you can get this flush.
Yeah, but that's like a sign that, you know, it's working as well. That's just one of the side effects.
It does something.
It's like the same with Tongkat Ali. You know, if the Tongkat Ali is making you feel a little bit sick, if you take it on empty stomach, or if you've just started taking it, then you know it's probably good shit. If it's not doing that stuff, then
you know it works.
Then you probably bought fake shit.
That's another big issue in the UK, mate.
Fakes.
I've been in this this industry for over 10 years now. It is very difficult, especially in the UK, which you'd think would be quite advanced, to find good protein powder. Any real supplements that haven't been, you know, homemade. Especially when we're talking about gear. You know, if you're a teenager and you're talking about getting your first cycle, you probably end up buying it from someone who's made it in their kitchen while smoking a cigarette, and it's filthy. You know, because in this country you can't just go into a pharmacy and buy it like you can in Iran or fucking.
A lot of people don't have access to these sources, right?
Yeah, but you know, so finding real trustworthy supplements in this country is difficult. You know, that's why I love this brand. You know, I fucking love it. I've been to the labs. I've seen how everything's done. I've seen the ingredients shipped in. I've seen the testing process. I've seen the whole thing, and I feel very comfortable and very safe with everything that's in these products. And the fact it's all natural. It's no added fucking sugars or seed oils or anything.
No fillers, no bullshit.
Yeah, no fucking
no artificial colorings and flavorings.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's fucking
perfect. We don't use any of that shit.
You just aren't out to make a quick bit of money. You actually care about the people that you're trying to help. So.
I mean, with our advertising, a lot of what we do is we're pretty much like breaking even. Like for the first purchase, it's the whole goal is to like sell supplements that work, that people then, you know, they come back and they buy from us forever. I mean, that was the only way of really doing it, because I mean,
but that works.
Yeah.
You know? I've been with a few supplement companies in the past where when I found a product I like, I religiously only used that product. So I used the same pre-workout for 8 years until they discontinued it.
Yeah.
Then I remember that. I was like, what do I do now? And then, yeah, but it's the same thing. You know, I loved it in the beginning. So for the next 8 years, I used the same brand. It's the same for anything. If it works and it's trusted, then you're going to continue to use that.
Yeah,
for
definitely.
sure.
That's our strategy.
If you stand behind and believe in the product, that's important too.
100%. Like, you don't go and buy a house because it's cheap, and then you go and buy another one 2 years later. You go and buy a new house, and you want to find something that you love, and you're going to stay in for 20, 30 years. You know,
yeah, but with you, it's your passion too, right? So you love what you do.
I mean,
and you reflect that in your products.
All of these supplements were made for myself. Literally every single one of them. I mean, Tongkat Ali and fadogia, obviously, I discovered after doing gear, and really, you know, I took gear and like didn't respond well. Face started flaring up, like had all the side effects.
Like water retention and stuff.
Massive water retention in my face. I had massive like mood problems. Like, I'm normally very like calm, very level-headed, but estrogen was obviously up. Like, I was like, I couldn't do.
You're almost all over the place. You go up and down.
Yeah.
Like,
so, you know, that I was like, okay, well, this obviously doesn't fucking work. So started looking into like the natural things. The pre-workout, literally, I don't like stim pre-workouts, and there wasn't really anything in the UK that's just
hard to find.
You know, there's nothing with like a big dose of citrulline. I like the glycerol as well.
One type of citrulline too.
Yeah, citrulline, like not the mallet shit.
Mallet's already watered down.
The cheap shit.
Yeah, it's 2 in 1. So it's, if it says 4 grams, you can see there's 2.
Yeah, exactly. That's 9 grams of pure citrulline, or 8 grams.
It's a high dose, actually.
Yeah, it is
strong though.
But you get that fucking pump, like, you don't understand why it fucking get a problem.
I'm inspired. I need it.
Let's try a little, yeah? Let's try a little.
Maybe just do once.
Curious of the flavor too.
I'm gonna have a little bit.
What flavor is it actually?
Strawberry.
Strawberry is always good.
That might actually be like old flavoring. So
that's a first for me. I never had a strawberry pre.
Let's try it.
We're working on sour and working on all our flavorings right now.
How many flavors are coming out? You know, different flavors.
Yeah, we've got We've got loads of different flavorings coming out.
No way. What's wrong with that? There's no way that's pre-workout, right?
No.
Well,
it's not. Like it smells like protein, like a good.
Well, it actually smells pretty nice, huh?
It smells like a fucking milkshake, mate.
It does, strawberry. But not that. Like chemical, like a good strawberry, not too much.
Well, I mean, Amy had collagen this morning.
Made that blue.
The strawberry collagen. It tasted like the nicest milkshake. It was beautiful.
Yeah, my girlfriend made a collagen drink just using the powder from here. Strawberry flavored, but it didn't change the coloring of the water. It just, so essentially in the end it just looked a bit like dirty water. Flavor was unbelievable, but it didn't taste like flavored water, like Robinson's juice or something. It tasted like a milkshake.
Yeah,
fucking epic.
Probably want a spoon or something.
Yeah, I've had years of it.
There's no artificial they're not coloring in it, right? Because it doesn't color like.
No coloring.
Otherwise, it would be pink like a strawberry or reddish.
It's literally just the pre-workout ingredients and stevia and
how we do that.
Natural strawberry.
Yeah, look at this, professional, mate. Look.
You see, he's had too much practice with his right hand there.
The right arm, the fucking back's right. That's why my biceps a little bigger than it.
You wish, man.
And that ain't bad.
Yeah, it's good.
For the fact that there's not much.
Mate, what the fuck? That's
artificial.
I mean, not gonna lie, this is the first time I've had your pre-workout. Mate, there's no fucking way I would ever have guessed if I did like a blind taste and that would be pre-workout.
Really?
No way. It doesn't have that bitterness, like the chemical taste. I'll try, mate.
Normally,
I
like cover
ingredients,
right? With a bitter, hard to mask.
Yeah.
That is so strange, but like in a really good way. Like, I'm not bullshitting you.
We're currently offering buy 2 get 1 free on our entire range of natural supplements. Everything's manufactured here in the UK in our brand new manufacturing facility. It's also third-party tested, now over 100,000 happy customers. Click the link below to get buy 2 get 1 free on our entire range of natural supplements.